Hola, mi gente. Hopefully, my mic will work with me today. How are you guys? I'm here. I'm sorry I'm late, but I hope you forgive me, okay? What else you gonna do? Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm YouTube and your favorite devil's advocate, Jen, okay? Tonight is an exciting show for me because it's something that we talk about a lot. We talk about the bad about it a lot, but I have a good spin that may be interesting to you or not. And hopefully you guys can add to it. Hold me down, chat. I'm late, so I'm not going to hold you, okay? If you want to support the show, don't forget Cash App on the block with Jen. Okay, it is tax free for me. So if you want to do that, it is also discreet. A lot of people don't like other people seeing where their money is going. You throw it in there. It's between you and I. Unless you want me to say that you are sponsoring the show, I'd be more than happy to blast your name. But some people want to be private about their coins, so you could throw it on the block with Jen Cash App. If you want to super chat me, you already know it's a $ on the bottom right of the screen. Welcome, welcome, welcome tonight. I was excited about this. We touched on this a little bit a couple days ago, and we were like, it needs its own stream on its own. There's good, bad, and ugly about this AI. It's exploding. Elon Musk made a comment today that I want to read to you guys about the future of AI and how even Elon Musk is saying we need to pause on the AI because it's getting a little crazy. I thought his statements on AI today were interesting. I have those for you too. So without another further, welcome everybody. Hold me down, chat. Let me bring my people up. The always and talented Lily from YB Limited. Hello, gorgeous.
Hello. I'm loving that look.
No, I see your colors popping. I was like, look, I hope they don't mind a do-rag today. A little do-rag. You know what I mean? I'm a little bougetto, okay? I'm a little ghetto. I'm a little bougie. I'm a little bougetto. It's a nice balance, okay?
No, I'm loving it because actually I was going to do a rap because one came with this, but then I realized Bessie stole it. So I'm calling it.
Oh, I can imagine the rap with that. Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. It's like a long flowy dress, actually, you know.
Good to see you. Lily, a lot of people. I'm like, wait a minute, a little light bulb went over my head. A lot of people are looking forward to this topic.
They really are. Because this is a hot topic right now.
It is.
I've been studying a lot about it recently because I have a lot of concerns. And it's like the more I study about it, my concerns are not being lessened. But hopefully people will come up today and help me out.
Well, you know me. I have a twist to everything. My mind is, not screwed on like everyone else's. So I think I see some good in this AI explosion. No, I could be wrong.
Do too. I
could be wrong.
No, I do too. I do too. But I'll go into that later.
Okay, so let's bring up the gentleman. Also, guys, listen. I'm not a techie person. Tristan will tell you, Haran will tell you, I'm all thumbs when it comes to tech shit, okay? So if you guys know more than me, throw it in the chat or feel free to come up, but we need your face. We don't do avatars up here. So please, if you know more than me and you have stuff to add about this or what you think the future is, or if you work in this area, in this field, by all means, tell us what you know, whether it's marketing or whatever it is you do. We would like to know. Let's have an all-out dissection of this AI explosion, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent. If you like, it's no big deal. It's whatever. It's just technology. Good. If you think this is the doom of humanity, we want to hear from you too. So let's bring our gentleman up. Hello, Haran Demarca. How are you, sir?
Good to see you. Long time no see. Good to see that face on the block.
Okay.
What's going on?
Haranga, pull up every now and then now.
Hi. Is you trying to sound sexy? You trying to sound sexy?
If I try to sound sexy? Sweetie, I sound like this all the time. Come on now.
He's like, just so you know. Haran is like, just so you know.
Clear.
All right,
it's been a while. It's been a while. It's been a while. I take care of my testosterone. It's been a while.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Gentlemen, take care of your testosterone, okay? It's not
And
like a basic moistener.
I was gonna wear a shirt today that said "Bring back manly men."
Oh, I need that shirt.
I have a couple of things. To do. I also want to clear up about steroids and so on and so forth. A couple of things.
Okay.
You can't really say shit in the chat like that. There's limited characters, but at the end, I want to like clear up a couple of things.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. We got No Saint, our saint of the block.
Oh man,
What's up, No Saint?
it's the bad quartet back in here. Now
Right.
Right.
The gang's all here.
The Cuatro Amigos. All right. We have a new guest backstage, but you know me, I keep my finger on the remove button because you never know coming up the block. I'll be ready. With that said, welcome Damien Coppage.
Hey,
Is that how you say your last name?
Oh, that's my friend. That's Dane.
How you doing? Can you hear me? Great.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Okay, he gets the block pass, Lily.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
But you know, Dame, it is what it is. I mean,
okay.
In
other words, Lily's like, I'm not responsible for you.
Whatever comes out of anybody's mouth.
They already got the disclaimer. They already got the disclaimer out there. Like, look, whatever happens.
I love how Lily has her team. Like, listen, my name is Bennett. If you get dropped, do not DM.
But look, but Dave's from Brooklyn, so he know what's up. You know how it is. Come back to the block.
Okay.
It ain't no love lost.
It's New York energy, man. It's New York energy, man.
Okay, so if he's from New York, he ain't soft. He ain't soft if he's from New York. He knows how it goes. He can shit talk.
Right.
Definitely not.
Okay, welcome, Damien.
Is his screen like that because his phone's tilted a certain way? Like he's got a small screen.
Yeah.
It's probably because he's on his phone.
Yeah, but if you turn it, would it go long ways? No.
Yeah, he would have to put the rotation on and then turn it. You got to put there you go.
Oh, there you go. Nice. All right. Now, no Saint checking them aesthetics. Okay, No Saint, I see you.
Right.
I see you, No Saint.
This is a tech show. We got to get it right. This is a tech show tonight.
No Saint is like, there's a production. I love it. So just like any good eye candy in porn movie, they always have the fluff, right? Let's get rid of the fluff. Okay, before we get into the business, before we get the fucking, let's do some fluffing, okay? Let's talk about Jonathan Majors a little bit. There has been a new development. And I wanted to touch on this because it's hot off the presses, okay? You know, we all about that algorithm before we get into our AI thing. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I thought the new developments were interesting. Watch your phones, guys, okay? I know your women be texting y'all like, you on again with that On the Block with Jen? I get it. So put your phones on silent for me. It's all love here. So guys, welcome. Hola, how you feeling? Let's get that out the way really quickly. Let's have a round of how you feeling and be quick about it, okay?
Life is good.
Life is good?
I'm good.
Life is good.
Good. Yummy. Life is good. Okay. Wait, let me see if I can.
Feeling great.
Good.
Yeah. It was kind of a slow news day today, so I'm glad you're having this show.
Oh, well, damn, wasn't that? I was online. It didn't look like a slow news day.
It was many
There's a
things
lot going on.
today.
There's a lot going on, No Saint.
I meant to send you some things, No Saint.
Oh, sarcasm. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sarcasm.
Yeah, so much going on. Woo wee. Hold me down, chat. Okay. Hold me down, chat. Now, Glenn Lawrence sent me a video. He was like, Jen, watch this before you do your AI episode. He sent it like 20 minutes before the show. I'm like, Glenn, not happening. But I invited him to pull up if he wants to share what he saw about that stream. I just didn't have time to watch it, but it may be some nuggets in there. So I told him pull up if he wants to share that or send me the cliff notes. So Jonathan Majors, really quickly, his attorney sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, his attorney sucks. So his attorney finally released text message that was supposed to absolve him. I read the text message. The text message is from his girlfriend who he kind of roughed up, right? I'm not saying he whooped on her, but she had marks on her neck or what have you. She had enough marks for the cops to say, okay, cuff him. Okay, she had enough marks. Now, whether or not he whooped on her, stomped her, gave her a grounded pound, choked her up, I don't know what happened. I just know she had enough marks for the cops to say, we could take you down to the precinct, okay? So his girlfriend, I guess, gave the text messages to the attorney after they gave her that Hollywood talking to. The attorney released the text messages today, and she is basically... This is why I'm saying his attorney sucks, because that text message, in my opinion, did not absolve him from wrongdoing. It made him look worse. Why did it make him look worse? Because the girlfriend in the text message sounds like a victim blaming herself for getting whooped on. So what the attorney thought that text message was gonna do, did not do, right? Because she sounds like the quintessential domestic violence victim saying it was my fault, and I'm sorry, my head got in the way of that fist. Like, I'm paraphrasing, but that's what it sounded like to me. Like, I'm so sorry, and I shouldn't have grabbed your phone like that. So, it sounds to me like, if we know anything about DV, okay, the woman, when she wants to stay with that man, and Jonathan Majors, whatever her reason is for wanting to stay with him, whether it's love or that bag, sounds to me like she's copping a plea now. Like, I'm sorry, I called the cops. She said in the text message, I only called the cops because I was passing out. I didn't call the cops on you to arrest you, but the cops said it's procedure because I had marks on my neck. The math ain't mathin'. Why wouldn't you call the ambulance if you were passing out? Right? But she called the cops. So in the text message, now she's claiming she called the cops because she was passing out. And she called, and then when the cops saw the marks, they were like, oh, well, he got to go because you got those marks. So it's still not adding up. I think it's dumb that his attorney even attempted to drop those text messages so long after, because what she did was let the pot of speculation bubble over, right? She gave it too much time for the memes to start. Okay, now they're putting Jonathan Major's face on Ike Turner's, body. You know what I mean? She gave it too much time, in my opinion. She was supposed to nip that in the bud. This is what happened. Here's the video that can absolve him. She let the shit simmer. It boiled over. Okay, it is out of the pot, and then you're gonna drop a text message that makes him look worse. It looks like the victim is blaming herself. She admitted to calling the cops because she felt like she was passing out. I don't know why she didn't call the ambulance. Then the cops arrested him. So the text message made it worse. His attorney sucks. She even says in the text message, but I'm not worried about you too much because I know your people. You got good people and they're going to handle it. Makes it look worse. Like, it makes it sound like she's acknowledging he has fixers. So I was like, this text message didn't do what you guys thought it was going to do. So we'll see what happens.
I'm just trying to think of the logic. Like, I'm just literally trying to think of what was his logic behind that. He couldn't have. Did he read them before he released them?
They're both. They both are just stupid motherfuckers. Because first of all, sweetie, what did you think was going to happen? I mean, this motherfucker got 2 #1 movies and he has crazy abdominal muscles. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Like, what do you think he wasn't going to be the object of somebody's affection? You see the tweets, you see.
You're saying
on.
because
I'm talking about the woman. The woman.
Right, you're saying that because, just so everybody knows, they were fighting over another woman texting him.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Sorry. I didn't put that context in. This was over some sort of text and so on. Like, sugar, like, what did you think was going to happen? The dude is like he literally became the it dude overnight. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Now, you should have just saw the text, played your position, understand that you're officially a part of a Hollywood couple right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? You should have played your position, let him go get this Marvel bag, because that's a very, very nice bag. There's so many things on the other side of this that you benefit from, but you have to wild out now. Now, who knows where this is going to go, man.
And also the other side of the text.
His lawyer's a complete idiot. His
lawyer sucks. His attorney.
I read the
Sucks.
text, and all I read was a confirmation that he put his hands on it. That's all I read.
Hello. And it sounded like, I'm sorry my face got in the way of your fist.
Right.
I shouldn't have grabbed your. I shouldn't.
What happened to the video?
Exactly.
Why didn't you just release the video?
Exactly. And then the return text, I don't know if you saw this, Haran, but the reply, I believe it was him, right? And the text that was sent back was kind of like a we're over thing. Like, did you take the key? Did you leave the keys? Like, goodbye, such and such. Did you leave the keys? And I think that was Jonathan Major's reply. Like, me and you were done. Did you leave the keys? That's what it sounded like. Because after that, it's like, how, you just ruined me. How do we come back from that? You just ruined me.
You can't.
And I don't care what nobody says. If that was a woman of color, okay, there would have been a fisticuffs in that house, but no police would have been called. We ain't fucking up that bag, bitch. We're very vindictive. We some vindictive bitches. And I would have waited for that Marvel bag. I would have been like, okay, bitch, I got you.
I would have Shawnee O'Neal.
Police would have knocked on that door. They just saw him with a black eye, her with a black eye, and they both would have been like, "Oh no,
they're like, no, there's nothing going on. There's nothing wrong here.
I've been there.
There's nothing wrong.
I've been there before.
Just cleaning, just doing some house cleaning.
Right.
I have been in that situation before. We open the door. Hey, what's going on? Both of us all fucked up. The place is all destroyed. TV turned off outside.
We were just playing around and fucking bleeding.
Everything around
and shit.
here, like, oh yeah, like,
bleeding.
Let me put the tooth in first before I answer that.
Out of breath and shit.
Right. You answered the door like this. We're fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, just like,
isn't that right, honey? Everything is fine. We're okay.
As I push my eye back in the socket, like, wait 1 second.
Becky said, I'll show you.
Baby.
Becky said, I'll show you. She let her emotions take over, which is fine, but she did the wrong thing. Once the popo is on the scene, you cannot put that milk back in the carton. You cannot do it. Especially if you had marks.
Let me tell you something about white women. Let me tell you something about white women.
Come on now.
White women behave this way because they believe they are beyond embarrassment.
Right.
Okay.
Embarrassment is for them other chicks.
Right.
Spanish women and black women and Asian women, white women, like, I will not be embarrassed. I will raise a fuss. How dare you? My dignity and all this other shit. Like, seriously, even white men will tell you that shit. So, you know what I mean?
No lies detected.
We're
because I got somebody going through this right.
I have a lot to say tonight. I have some controversial things to say about AI tonight. A lot of people.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. So wrapping on Jonathan Majors, it seems to me like the mountain got higher to climb for him. The army dropped him. The army meaning our U.S. military, because he did have 2 really good commercials for the army, but they dropped him immediately. I'm sure other sponsors will drop him. I'm sure things that were about to be signed will no longer be signed. I'm sure he was he was really the it guy overnight. So it's a shame, but when you're in that position, you got to keep your hands to yourself. Women can be very vindictive. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. We will scorch earth, especially if we feel like, we put in work. And I'm not talking about Becky, because I know she ain't put no work into that man. But, especially when we feel like we put a lot of work into a man and now some other bitch is texting you. With that said, he is Jonathan Majors. He became the it guy overnight. She should have been more patient, because I say all the time, like a guy who went from nothing to everything, you're dealing with a different human being. He's young. He is no longer that goofy looking dude, okay, that nobody was really checking for. Right. He's no longer that. Now he's an it guy. He has a 6-pack. He's on cover of magazines. He's larger than life. You have to, in order for relationships to last, you have to be willing and unafraid to watch that person evolve and see if you still fit in that frame or in that life, right? And if you want to be with that person, you be fucking lucky. if that person decides, you know what, I'm a new person, I'm better, but I still want you along for my journey. Because some people say you don't fit my journey no more. Right. And that happens. But some relationships do last through the journey because you're pliable, you're flexible. You're like, oh my God, you're $1 million man now. I'm going to be patient. I'm going to understand that more women are after you. I'm going to understand that you're going to flirt more. You're a new man. And she, in my opinion, probably panicked, like, who that bitch texting you? And it was probably somebody bad too. It's probably a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, because she wasn't the baddest. So I'm, you know.
It
But
was
another thing too that white women
he probably had a general. He probably had a general on that text like, "Hey, baby, I saw Creed."
most white women, their biggest fear when they're dating a black man, the biggest fear that they have is that they'll lose their man to a black woman.
Ooh. Spicy.
That's their biggest motherfucking fear. And I heard that the person on the other end was a sister. That's what I heard.
Really?
Wow.
So
that would be interesting. That would be interesting only because I don't take him for the type to be into the colors.
Me either. That'd be surprising.
So that would be interesting. I mean, but I'll say this though.
To your point
but I'll say this: she's probably adjacent.
Right.
That's another thing. But to the point that you made earlier, Jen, like when the money different things happen.
True.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He might have bumped into a sister that made him think, well, you know, maybe. You know what I mean? And
true that. I mean, at that you're absolutely right. At that level, it's a different type of sister that's in your midst.
It's a different type of situation entirely.
But
right?
But I'm willing to bet she's very ambiguous.
But Lily, come on, right? I'm like, she's adjacent.
Right.
Most likely.
You know, is she Latin? Is she Latin? Is she black and white? Is she black and Asian? She's, you know what I mean?
There's an argument for that. I will say that. There's probably an argument for that.
Look, whoever it was a bad motherfucker because I know she wouldn't have flipped like that if it was Leslie Jones, Gabby Sitterby, or Whoopi Goldberg texting. Sorry, I said it. You don't like it too fucking bad. But I'm sure she wouldn't have flipped if it was one of those three women or any woman that look in that, you know what I mean, vein aesthetically. I'm sure she wouldn't have flipped. That was a bad motherfucker on that text. And that's why she went the fuck off. And now she's lost him forever.
If it was a Halle in her prom type broad, that would have been reason to lose her fucking mind.
Like, hey John, I saw your movie.
If I was in his shoes, I'd be like, yeah, baby, well, you know, I did what I did. You know, Ant-Man was cool. You know, I got some other shit down the pipe. I'd have been talking all that shit.
God.
Right.
Now with that said, he's still a butterface to me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jen. I keep squinting to see if I can make. And I'm like, nah, the money.
I still don't like his face.
Yeah, the money ain't doing it yet. It ain't doing
it. And even with me, even with me being into my Picassos, a number like what number?
For any of you, like, is there a number for any of you that you don't got to squint as hard? Like, is there a number?
It just happens. It's just like you turn on the TV one day, you're like, hold on, something's different.
Like 250 million.
I don't know what it is, but there's a number. I just don't know what the number is because I just know with these people.
But there's a number.
I just turned the TV on. And I'm like, oh,
is there a number?
Did Jay-Z ever reach that number?
Ooh, no.
That's $1 billion over there. That's
okay.
I don't know if that's
I get it. I get it.
$1 billion.
If he was in my face, he reached that damn number.
Listen, this is why I'm glad. Thank you, universe. Thank you, mama and daddy, for my genetics, and thank you, the Bronx, for my personality. I'm so lucky that I was able to date men in the 9-figure tax bracket. I'm so glad because it's not something that I'll ever wonder about.
Right, that's very.
I wonder what it's like to be with a rich guy. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. Been around the entourage. Been around the celebrities. I mean, I was at parties with, and I don't name drop people I know. Right. I don't name drop people I know. So I'll just name drop the people that were in the midst, not the person I was with. But I'm talking about Idris Elba like it ain't nothing. And Idris, what's up? We gonna get a James Bond? You know what I mean? Chris Rock and Tony Rock and, you know what I mean? The football players, the whole team is there. And yeah, I mean, it just star-studded. So been there, done that. Okay. It's a whole different world. And I recommend for any beautiful woman that's going to be in those circles, be there and be sober. Don't drink.
Right.
Don't drink, because I experienced it sober. And if you're there sober, it's a different experience if you just watch and observe how everybody moves in that circle. Be sober. Don't be a little dingy bitch with perky titties, 25 years old, like, oh my God, is that one of the Raiders? Like, be sober. Be sober. Okay. It's a different experience, but I'm glad, you know what I mean? I had the opportunity to be in those circles and to date those type of men. It's like, you see it differently. It's not like, oh my God. So Haran, when you say Jay-Z with $1 billion, I'm like, well, what's the difference between 70 million and $1 billion? Wealth is wealth, right? So I'm like, I've been around a guy that could have bought anything that he wanted to buy, right? And Jay-Z could buy anything that he fucking wants to buy. But, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, he could buy a person. Yeah, and I'm sure he's bought a lot of people. I'm sure Jay-Z has bought a lot of people, okay? But, you know, at the end of the day, when options are a beautiful thing. When you have options, you could say yay or nay. You can say yay or nay. When you have options, you can say yay or nay, or you could mess around or play around and to see what it's like. And you know what I mean? It wasn't for me. What, Damien, you okay? You going through changes over there? I see you backstage on 2 screens.
I'm trying to go into my laptop now. I was ironing earlier, so I think I got it adjusted. So
okay, so what
sound is that?
Jeez, because he has 2 screens up. That's why. You're backstage on another screen. What screen do you want to be up on? Come on, love. Help me out. Help me out. This one? Okay. All right. Tristan's crazy. Tell the 9-figure dude to cash at me.
Right.
Let me tell you something. The 9-figure dude
Tristan got college loans, man.
Yeah. The 9-figure dude, and it wasn't, you know, the 9-figure dude is 10 years younger than me. 10 years. Okay. And, you know, men mature slower than women. It was fun. It was a novel idea, but them 10 years started being apparent. Okay. Yeah. the 10-year difference started being apparent. So I was like, oh, okay. The PlayStation again. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, the entourage again. Okay. There's like 15 motherfuckers up in here, and y'all fine. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Oh, the nightclub again. All right. The nightclub again. Okay. All right. So this is what we're doing. Okay. So,
so Super Bowl Sunday was amazing, huh? That shit was loud and wild.
I mean, let me tell you what else was amazing. Okay, field side seats, baby, getting flown in and sitting on the motherfucking field. So when he walks by, he's like, "Hey, man!" I'm like, "Hey!" Yeah. So you know, it's again, if you have options, it's not you see the world differently. You see the world differently.
Look, gentlemen, at the end of the day, the world is a different kind of world for beautiful women, man. No matter what age they are, man. Don't ever let anybody, I don't care what any of these dudes are telling you, man. If she's bad, her world is different from yours.
It's different.
Unless you got bread like that. Because I've been around dudes who got bread like that, and I've seen the things that some of these women have experienced, and I've seen a lot of this shit. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you know, it's a lot. Your chances of this kind of sounds weird. Your chances of being born a beautiful women are much better than being born into a lot of money or making that kind of money.
Very true.
Yeah, it is.
Very true.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
There are a lot more beautiful women than there are wealthy men.
Yes.
Well, it has to be
very
it has
true.
To be that way. Nature has to make it that way because, you know, I mean, there has to be an incentive for men to want to fuck women. So there has to be more, beautiful women out there in the world. When we see, no, seriously, I mean, if there were a ton of ugly women, we wouldn't want to fuck anybody. You know what I mean? So, you know.
And I'm definitely, I'm not shitting on the lifestyle, but I just think it takes a certain type of woman to enjoy that lifestyle, want to be involved in that lifestyle. You have to be ready to be an accessory to that man. And I'm nobody's fucking accessory. I have my attitude. I'm all alpha. I'm too masculine. You know, whatever it is. Like, I'm just not the, you know, jump, how high, when are you going to be here at 10 o'clock? I'm like, you know, and I told you guys why we ended the situation. It was over something really, really ridiculous and petty, where he wanted me to fly in. And I said, I want you to pick me up at the fucking airport. He was like, no, I'm gonna send my driver. And I was like, no, you do it. He was like, no, I'm gonna send my driver because, you know, I'm tired. And I was like, no, you do it. Right. You pick me up. And at that point, it's like, you know how women are. It's like, when we're done with you mentally, we start poking at you and we don't give a fuck what the reaction is. Right. You know, but another woman who is like, oh my God, $70 million. I need these red bottoms. Another woman would have been like, baby, where you need me? I don't care who picking me up. Right. But I you know, once I get bored, I get the poke in, and I was like, no, you fucking pick me up. I'm like, you know, I'm busy and I can't. I was like, no, you pick me up. It's like, oh, well, what you want me to do if I can't get you? I was like, then I'm not going. Right. So, and then you start doing that shit.
I just want to say something real quick. From my experience and what I've seen, what you went through, Jen, and you're dealing with 9-figure men and above, you know what I mean, most likely. What I see online, I see a lot of women online behaving like they're the it girl, and the dudes that they're with, a lot of them can just give them a weekend in fucking Florida, you know, and they assume that is the stretch of what that lifestyle is, when there's a completely different fucking lifestyle where women are being flown in a private jet to Paris. You know what I mean? They're shopping in Dubai, like. That is my recollection of what an it girl is. Like, when I was heavy in the entertainment world and I was seeing people taking people out, and the secretary just coming back from getting fucked in fucking Aruba and shit like that. You know, that is my understanding of what that life is and what the it girl is. What these girls are doing now, it's like, like whatever, but you know.
Yeah. You just have to be prepared to be an accessory at his beck and call. That's it. If you want that lifestyle and you want to shop and that's your thing. I'm very cynical of designer labels, right? Most women are very much hypnotized. You know what I mean? They're in trance over, they need to wear that Gucci and Versace and Louis Vuitton. It gives them value, right? They value these Italian and French men. That is what the fuck it is. It just means that you value that last name more than you value your own. And I'm sorry, my last name is Garcia. My daddy's name is Garcia, all right? And my father's name to me has more value than Gucci, Prada, Louis Vuitton, Hermes. I don't fucking know you, motherfuckers. I don't know you. I don't know you, motherfuckers. So I am not, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I got to have Hermes on my shirt so I can feel like something. Their names aren't more important to me than the name that my father gave me. So I'm not a slave to labels. But some women are like, those are status symbols for them. So they need to be in that Hermes and that Gucci and that Prada and that Louis Vuitton so they can look like something and show people on Instagram that, look what I got. So since I'm not that type of woman, some women are, that's fine. But you have to be wired that way to be with this type of guy, because that's what you're going to be getting from him. And you're probably not going to be getting much more emotionally or intellectually. You just have to be there, be pretty, get flown in and get picked up at the airport, period. And I was like, I can't live like that. I can't do this. I can't sit around and wait for you to be ready, for me to be on your arm. I was like, I'm not cut that way. Life is so much more than that. So I was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. But it was fun. It was fun. It was fun in the beginning, like a lot of things are. I mean, you talk about 6'4", 300 something pounds, ask for days, athlete. You know what I mean? It was fun. I'm a teeny little woman, so you get to climb that every now and then. It's a good time. It's a good time, right? But then after that, I was like, okay, oh, you guys are okay. You're gonna argue over PlayStation for 5 hours. All right, okay. And then I was just like, all right, so I'm gonna go now. All right. But but some women that's enough, and that's fine. Salute. Go get you a BBL and go get you an athlete. Great. Salute. Hope it works out. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep.
So
we love it. We love it. If you like it, we love it.
You like it, I love it. Jason Black, your connection backstage is shit balls right now.
You need to call it Chat EBT.
Yeah, it's not Jason Black. I want to bring you up, but I don't know what's going on with your thingy there. So I'm gonna kick you from the studio. Try to come back. Yeah. So yeah, this is interesting, man. Oh, I'm so happy to see all y'all tonight. I really, really am. Chat, hold me down. Don Levon says women are born with their value. Men have to earn it.
What does that mean?
Don Levon, would you like to elaborate? Damien is asking, women are born with their value.
Yeah.
Men have to earn it. Oh, no Saint gonna be your attorney, Don Levon.
No, because he put it right after what we were talking about. So basically he's saying that women are born into their beauty. Now they have to maintain it. They can't just be, it doesn't mean they don't have to work, but I'm saying, and he's saying men have to earn their worth, like their money, to get that lifestyle where women can either earn it or
DNA.
You're good looking enough. You don't have to earn. Well, your
DNA.
Yeah.
That right there. This is it. Don Levon just said men value looks.
Yeah,
and that's why it's easy. Yeah. This is why. Let me tell you something. Oh, I love this comment.
Wait a minute. Whoa. I need to jump in because my girlfriend is always she has this similar argument. And I think this, right? At a certain point, it depends on how old you are, you will probably value looks. And I'm talking about between the ages of, let's say, somewhere between 18 and I'm going to say maybe 35. Why? Because let's say, for example, I'm 46 years old myself. I don't care what you look like. If you cannot help me with these bills that I have to deal with, if you cannot help me pay and keep so I have 2 computers, right? That's how I'm here. I have internet service. I have a lot of things. If you come into my household, you cannot cook. You cannot help me with the bills. You're not willing to take on the load of what is required to uphold and keep a home. Your looks will devalue over time. First of all, beauty is a depreciating asset. So if you invest in that, it's like buying a pair of sneakers. Over time, right, you're going to wear those out. Now, what are you going to put on your feet? That's my whole point. So, like, if you have some sort of indication of adolescent mindset when it comes to seeking a relationship, I believe, probably you will invest in beauty and you'll think that, oh, yeah, she looks so good, I'll take her all over the world. Over time, though, you just have arm candy. I mean, that's just my position. I don't know. Maybe somebody has a different perspective on it, though.
Thank you for sharing your position. Yeah, I understand what he's saying too, but it's also a tax bracket thing. How long have you been with your girlfriend?
We've been together since 2019. We met fairly. I have a little history, so we met when I came home. I was incarcerated for a while. I did some time, and I was just lucky. Very few women that I came across, I was, trying to meet women and so on and so forth, have the I would call the characteristics to deal with my background in today's society, coming from where I'm coming from, and going through the struggles that it is to reacclimate. It's been a journey and a struggle. So a lot of people, they're not even trying to get out of here. You ain't got blah blah blah. But right. I was lucky enough to be able to find that.
Okay, so since 2019, and you said that she has a similar argument. What's her argument? What does she usually say about men and looks?
She says that, like, I hear sometimes talking to her sister on the phone, and she was like, yeah, the guys, they always seem to value, the pretty girl, a girl who looks like this and da. And I mean, there's some value in that. I'm a guy myself, but I have had, I'm not no movie star, but I've been in relationships with women who are gorgeous. Like when I was young, I never dated any females from my specific neighborhood. I was just, I would go places and maybe I might be at a library somewhere outside of my neighborhood, or I may be at a movie theater or whatever. And I would come around. Nobody knew where the girl was from or anything like that. But my thing is, at the end of the day, it really didn't make a difference to me whether the girl, I mean, today anyway, it doesn't make a difference to me whether or not the girl has these so-called features, because there are things that you're dealing with in your life day to day that they got to be able to stand with you with. If they can't, the looks, what is that going to do? Hypothetically speaking, let's just say, right? I did 22 years in prison. 90% of the people in prison, right, don't have, I'm gonna say probably a little bit less, maybe 85. They don't get visits from anybody, right? And in these relationships that they had valued so much, right? Girl was pretty. When you got in a situation where you needed this beautiful female, she was with the next dude, right? She was doing her high maintenance lifestyle that you was giving her, maybe, and she's gone. Most of the time, the guys that I saw who had women that were with them, it was because they had established something that went beyond the ephemeral, right? Beyond looks, beyond whatever. Maybe they met, and they, maybe were doing things together in terms of holding a household, right? And they got in a situation where, you know what, something happened, they in prison, she's there. They got a relationship that's beyond that, just this physical whatever. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Even
so let's not go too far. Let's not go too far. So what it sounds to me is like you don't have a full grasp of options, right? See, there's this thing called options, right? If you were worth right now, let's say I'm gonna throw a number out there, $100 million. The only thing a woman could do for you is show up and be a bad motherfucker on your arm. She can't do shit for you. She can't help you with your empire. She ain't gonna put money in your pocket. You're not gonna need help from her. So, a good looking woman is also a status symbol. Okay. She's a status symbol, right? To a man of means, right? Every now and then a beautiful woman will get with some lame or some duck, and she brings up his value. Because what is the first thing they ask men and women when they see him walk in? How the fuck did he pull that off? Because attractive women are a status symbol. So when you say to me, and we talk about incarcerated people here. We've all been handcuffed. Everybody on this panel, except with the exception of No Saint. We've all spent the weekend. We all spent the weekend in prison. We've dated, been with, had children with. People who've been incarcerated. My father was incarcerated. We're from New York. We get it. But I will say this: I've been to many a prison visit. The women that show up, okay, 99.9% of the time are the women who don't have a lot of options. It's not 50 of me walking in, okay? It's me, maybe one other cute girl with a fat ass, and the rest of them women look like somebody's mama or somebody's auntie. They don't have options like that. So when you say, well, she was with him out when he was in the street and popping and providing her lifestyle, right? She was with him. Then as soon as he gets locked up, she's on to the next person. Women are naturally hypergamous. So that's nature. Like that's nature taking over. You can no longer provide her a lifestyle of a woman who has options. So quite naturally, it's like you can't even take it personal. You got to charge that to the game because that woman has options, right? Now, if you're dating somebody that looks like Leslie Jones or Precious, she's going to hold you down. You're going to get them noodles. You're going to get them noodles. You're going to get the money on your books. You're going to get them socks. You're going to get them socks. You're going to get them thermals. You're going to get them thermals. You're going to get the care package. She going to hold you down. Now, here's the thing. When you get out of prison and you looking good, you healthy, your dick ain't been nothing in years, so you fresh. Ooh, you fresh out the fuck. Oh, man, you prime real estate. You get out, okay? You know what you're going to do? You're going to better deal her. Because you have options. You're no longer behind bars. Now you good. You've been doing push-ups and eating that top ramen and you on the prowl. Okay? You on the prowl, right? And women are going to find you attractive because your chest all swole now. You all quiet and docile because you got that 100-yard stare. You're going to have options. And guess who's not going to be top on that list? Precious, who was sending you the thermals and putting money on your books. So you got to charge it to the game. That's the game.
Statistically, I have to say you're probably correct, but there's a small statistic of people, and I know a few, not a lot. And so that doesn't hold weight for some. Some people have come to the realization to value things that hold more weight than just beauty. Not a lot, but some have, and that's just the nature. But I understand exactly what you're saying.
We're all is what they say, all is faithful. It's funny because usually people, they say men, you're only as faithful as your options and things but it's the same thing with women. If a woman is good looking, she has options behind, beyond one man. And that's why I equate, and people are like, no, it's not the same thing. But I equate being beautiful or attractive to a man with wealth, because we deal with the same thing. Everybody's always on us if you're attractive, right? And a rich man, everybody's always on him. And then you got people that just want to get with you to be next to that beauty, or to fuck that beauty, or have that beauty. It's the same thing with a man with money. You just want to get with him because he got that money and he has that network and them connections. So we both go through the same thing. Like, do you want me for me? Do you want to know my favorite color, or you just trying to fuck? Same thing with a man. Do you want me for me? Do you want to know my favorite color, or you just want this money? So they are parallel. The lifestyles are parallel. Unfortunately,
One's
for
a
men,
success object, and men are success objects and women are sexual objects. That's how you would want to break it down, though, right? Because they are the same.
Say it again, Glenn.
Men are success objects and women are sex objects.
Okay.
So they're going after her for her beauty, for her looks, right? And then she's going after him. It could be wealth, but it could also be status and influence,
power.
It may not be the most richest guy in the room, but you may have the most influence in the room. Like, you see that picture of Leo when he was walking up to Jeff Bezos?
Of course, it's infamous.
And yeah, so Leo is not Jeff Bezos rich. Like, if she was after the money, like, it wasn't that. She saw the influence and his status, and she just was like, forget Jeff Bezos, But
I think that was, I'm gonna push back just a little tiny bit. I don't think it was influence and status. He's fuckable. Leonardo DiCaprio is very, very manly. He's tall. He's attractive. He's fuckable.
Well, that would be
fucking a lot,
status, right? That would be status.
That's not status, because a guy that just came home from prison could be fuckable without a dime in his pocket.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it was more I think it was more like, you know what I mean?
Starstruck?
That animal desire. You know what I mean?
Okay,
it's like
primal instinct.
Yes, there you go. Thank you. Thank you for helping me out. That's what I'm talking about. Like Leonardo, that's a fuckable human being. If we're gonna keep it on,
literally looked like she wanted to suck his dick in the middle of that guy.
Oh yeah, I mean, she did the hug. Listen, she did what I call is the titty hug. Like when we like a guy,
and you stick it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what women do.
Boom energy gave him that boom energy.
Yes, and let me tell you, when they don't even do because there's like the church hug, when you don't really want to like hug a guy, and then there's the side titty hug, like I'm with somebody but I don't want to make it obvious, so I'm gonna just put one titty on you and I'm gonna hug you from the side, but you don't feel this titty on your chest. Yes, Haran, I'm gonna put one I'm gonna let you feel the titty on your side when I'm hugging you, so you can get it.
Know that I'm feeling you, but we gotta be on the DL.
Right.
It's
right. Let's be discreet.
I gotta maintain some things.
It's like you feel it on the side of your chest too, like right here on the side. It's like, oh, that's a titty.
Yes, that's a titty. And then there's
the man is on the right, and he gonna get the left titty, because he's not gonna get the same titty that he on the side of. Yeah,
exactly.
And then you got, but she gave Leo full frontal. You could have both these titties in front of it. Yeah, she gave him that.
She didn't even care. She didn't even look back. It wasn't even like.
He said, "You can get this. You can get this dude that dropped me. It's me and you." Although she's not.
But poor thing for her, she doesn't meet Leo's.
I was about to say she's not his type.
Yeah, like, look, you over 25? You're a senior citizen in his eyes.
And that's what
she's not type.
If he's looking for a citizen, Miss Ruth is volunteering.
Okay, Miss Ruth.
Change his mind.
So here I am thinking as a teenager, 16, 17-year-old, that I'm a pervert because the girl's sitting in between my legs on the roller coaster and I'm trying to get a feel. And here the whole time she's trying to get a feel too. Who knew?
No, but that's why I say to men all the time, like, if a woman is attracted to you, you're gonna be the first one to know. Stop trying so fucking hard. If you got to try hard, she's probably not interested.
So
we got to try hard. She's probably not interested. We're not cartoons. We're not dropping our little handkerchiefs anymore to see if you pick it up. We like, I want that.
Right. What's up? We want the same thing.
So I'm gonna test this. Let me hug you.
Right.
That's why, like, I tell guys, like, chasing the women is like the worst. Like, you're wasting too much time.
Yes.
When you
Thank you for telling them
you should be chasing your excellence. You should be trying to level up, and it's like, you know, you attract more honey or more bees with honey, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you are leveling up and you become that status symbol, or you become the most alphaest person or the most high value person that they see in that room, they're gonna come to you. You don't have to come to them.
Absolutely.
You could be sitting on the couch by yourself and they'll just gravitate to you. Just for some reason, they'll ask you, "Oh, is that shirt? Is that Calvin Klein? Or is that, you know, just something stupid?" They'll start conversation.
Absolutely. And it's like, you know, big dick energy, you know, it doesn't get as much credit as it should. You can have big dick energy, guys. You don't have to be Bezos. You don't have, some guys just have big dick energy. You're like, why are you walking in like that? Right? Women notice things like that. That's why it's important you work on yourself. Get off these podcasts complaining about what women should and shouldn't do. Go work on yourself.
Well, yeah, definitely you should always be working on yourselves, but there is no, you either are that alpha guy or you're not that alpha guy. There's no working on that.
I feel you on that. No, Sam.
Yeah,
I feel like you either are, you like, be yourself and attract someone who is going to appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
can I say something? Let me push back just a little bit. I loathe the either you're alpha or beta. There's a myriad. No, I'm saying that there's a but alpha male is not the one thing that men should strive to be. There's a myriad of men in between alpha and beta. Like, there's a plethora.
I 100% agree with you. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
you
can't just walk in, I'm going to be alpha. I'm going to strive to be an alpha.
No, because you'll end up looking like an asshole. Like the way Trump walks around. I'm like, you just look like an asshole.
Exactly.
Alpha is a container word.
Yeah.
Alpha, it's all it is. It's just a container word. And every guy could be a contextual alpha, meaning that, you know, you're not always going to be alpha. You know, if I was going to be trying to do firefighting, right, and I've never done firefighting, well, you know what? No saint is going to be the alpha in that room between me and him in that sense, because that's his shit. That he runs that. He knows that he's the guy that everybody's going to be going to if there's a fire. You're not going to be coming to me. I'm going to be the guy tripping over the hose, right? But so
you're probably running the other way.
In that sense, he's the contextual alpha. But like, if we were at a concert or we're all going to be musicians, you know what? Haran is going to be the most alpha person in that room. He's going to take the lead. That's his contextual alpha setting, because we're going to be looking to him. He's playing the lead guitar, so he's going to be leading us in the music. So it's like, you could be a contextual alpha. It just depends on what scenario you're in. Like, most guys that are like the most richest guys, you see them like with pretty kind of, like, they kind of seem very beta or softish with women, but would they be running like Fortune 500 companies and they're like alpha as shit? They're contextually alpha in that setting.
I got you.
But in their relationship setting, they're not. So you could be alpha in one thing and not alpha in another thing.
I got you.
E-Scrapple, that is true. A good sense of humor. Thank you for the super chat, Don Levant. Don't forget, y'all can super chat me. Y'all ain't just got to lurk. Don Levant says, if you have to chase a woman, that means she is running. And if she's running, that means she doesn't want to be caught.
You just got to tackle her.
And
opinions and statements on the block with Jenner, not necessarily of the opinions of the host. Okay.
Do we need a disclaimer now?
Listen,
I think we've always needed a disclaimer. If you ask me.
This is the Blizzard, so you already know. I don't mind it being said, but
I'm not gonna let my picture be up here, and then he said what he said. I didn't say that. No.
Hey, listen, people pull up at your own risk. Your sound is killing me, Kennedy. It sounds like you're at the airport.
Really?
So yeah, you're gonna have to go on mute or go out, come back in, or mute yourself while.
Let me fix my audio.
Okay, you do that.
Hennessy be on that good Hennessy.
Lord.
He be on something.
What does that sound? It sounds like wind. Whose mic is that? Okay, that was him. That's Hennessy. Oh gosh.
Breathing too heavy on the mic.
I have to fix my sound. I need to change headphones. I'll be back. I need to.
I'll just remove you for now. Just send me a wave when you're ready. Okay, guys. So, well, now that we got that was a lot of fluff. I wanted like 15 minutes of fluff. We went an hour with the fluff.
I told you I like foreplay, so hey.
Okay.
Hold on, how many hours to Freaky Friday, y'all?
We're almost there. We are almost there, Lily. We got to come up on Freaky Friday with pasties. We got to come up one day just with pasties.
I got some in there. I'll mail you some.
Yeah, do that tomorrow.
But I want extras. I want ones that light up. I need some with lights.
I get you. I'll make you some AI driven pasties.
Nice.
Oh no! Hold up now.
Nice. So let's nice segue.
My temperature and my blood pressure. And
your sound is off, Kennedy. Get your life together, sir.
And shit.
Like when you get angry, the shit changes color and shit like that.
Miss Ruth said the fluff was hot. Hey, Miss Ruth.
Hey, Miss Ruth.
Hey, Miss Ruth.
We love Miss Ruth around here.
Okay.
Hey, is the sound better now? Is the sound better?
No, it's weird. It's like some sort of feedback.
What the fuck? It's not.
There used to be a Miss Ruth on my block back in the days.
Was she like Miss Parker?
Oh yes, ma'am.
I don't know what it. You know what it? I don't know what it is.
I remember Miss Ruth.
Hold on, everybody, hold on. Everybody, please hold on. Kennedy, go out, leave the block, and then come back in.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Yes, I used to help Miss Ruth with her bags all the time.
I bet you did. Good Samaritan ass.
Okay, guys. Let's get into this AI. Now, you know my perverted ass always has a different way of looking at shit, right?
Let's hear it. I need to hear it all.
I understand that it's not Freaky Friday yet, but you know it's Thursday, right? Am I right?
It's Freaky Friday Eve.
Okay, there you go. So a lot of people are panicking about AI. I'm hearing all kinds of concerns. I did find this interesting. Elon Musk said, let's listen to Elon. I would like to think he knows a little bit about what he's talking about now. No, I mean, it's Elon Musk after all.
Yeah, he's a mini god to some people.
Okay. Elon Musk and other tech leaders call for a pause on dangerous race to make AI as advanced as humans. So Elon Musk wants a pause because there does seem to be a race to the finish line to get the most advanced AI popping, right? To seduce people to interact with it. So everybody is trying to make that robot that feels just like wet pussy, or that robot that can do your taxes, or that robot that can keep you company, or that robot that can cure cancer, or that robot that can do surgery, or that robot that can fix your blindness, or that everyone's on this fucking race. According to Elon Musk, he thinks it's dangerous and he wants us to pause. Okay?
He's full of shit. He's full of shit. I'll explain why he's full of shit.
Okay, Elon Musk and dozens of other technology leaders have called on AI labs to pause the development of systems that can compete with human-level intelligence in an open letter. So this isn't just some dinner talk. This was an open letter from the Future of Life Institute signed by Musk, Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, and 2020 presidential candidate Andrew Yang. AI labs were urged, so these are the top dogs, okay? Were urged to cease training models more powerful than the GPT 4, the latest version of the large language model software developed by U.S. startup OpenAI. So what does that say? And I want to pass the mic to Haran first, but what does that say when you got the top dogs in the game saying, pause? Haran would say, yeah.
He's full of shit.
Oh.
Right now, Elon Musk, and you could look this up. Elon Musk, first of all, there's a race to get to essentially perfect a chip that you can implant in a human being that makes sure that you're as quick and as fast and you can move and basically compete with AI. And guess who's the founder of that company? Elon Musk. So if everyone slows down on it and he beats everyone to the punch, guess who corners the market?
Mm-hmm.
So you always follow the money, especially when it comes to technology and so on and so forth. Now, I'm not going to get into. There's a lot of hysteria going around, AI. There are some valid concerns, and there's some things that just aren't going to happen. Like let's just cut the bullshit first of all. Like Skynet is not going to happen right now. You're way from that. Skynet going online, that's not going to happen right now.
What's Skynet, darling? Let us school us. This is why we're on the block.
The Terminator.
Okay.
The Terminator.
Okay, some people. Okay,
in your thumbnail. How do you not?
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, like, I don't know. I know him as the T2. I know him as the T2.
Okay,
I don't know. I don't know who Skynet. I don't know who Skynet is.
The T2 is not going to happen. The T2 is not going to happen. Okay, the T2 is not going to fucking happen. However, yes, we are currently in the 4th industrial revolution.
Mm-hmm.
We are currently in the 4th industrial revolution right now. This is all factual information you can look up. Mm-hmm. Now, because of this, yes, AI and automation are going to change the landscape. This world is going to look extremely different in the next 10 to 20 years. To put it bluntly right now, a lot of people are going to lose their jobs. Their jobs are going to be gone. And the people who are going to take the biggest hit are Black people.
Right.
Period.
How so? How so?
Well, I'll also share a link with the chat, but I'll give you some quick blurbs, that I got based on the McKinsey report. Artificial intelligence is slated to disrupt 4.5 million jobs for African Americans who have a 10% greater likelihood of automation-based job loss than other workers. Now, automation job loss pertains to what service industry? There's a lot of Black people who work in the service industry. Customer service, this is loan officers, this is production, this is factory work, so on and so forth. This is all stuff that you can look up. Now, the other part of that is that both of the genders aren't going to experience this hit in the same manner. Ooh. Black men are going to be hit harder than Black women in this particular situation. Yes.
Let's talk about it.
This is a situation that's going to happen in the next 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's soon.
It's happening right now.
It is happening right now, but I'm talking about the plethora of all of those jobs being lost. Yeah. That is going to happen by 2030. You know what I mean?
But they're firing right people now by the thousands now.
I'll give you an example. In Beijing, in China, there is a fully automated self-driving train. This shit drives itself. After it's done with its tour, it cleans itself and it drives itself back to the yard. This is in Beijing, China. Right now, they're also working on making AI a part of the signal system in New York. They previously tried a self-driving train, the 7 line in New York. That didn't work too well, so they still have some things to work out in that. So there is a possibility that, yes, trains are going to be, there might be a line or two in the future that is fully automated. I want to pass the mic right now. There's a plethora of information I would like to share. I don't want to, get too far.
Okay, but I do. But
I'll just
all right, before we pass the mic, I just really quickly I want to ask you a question, Haran. I understand Elon Musk is his ulterior motive, but what about Andrew Yang and Steve Wozniak? Are you saying that they're all in bed together because they all partook in this open letter to pause the advancement of the AI? So what do you think is the motive for the other two, or are they just all in bed together? Like, look, let's corner the market on this AI. Let's pause everybody else. Open letter, I would think it's pretty serious.
Yang and Wozniak, maybe, I doubt it, because Yang and Wozniak, they're very much idealists, especially Wozniak. Wozniak is very much an idealist, so he's just probably thinking more so about the people. Trust me, Elon's not thinking about the people. Elon's thinking about his own self-serving fucking, ideas. And it just so happens that their idealistic notions and his self-serving notions happen to be aligned at the same time. So they're technically just in bed with each other just because of that. But trust me, Elon's been trying this shit for a while now. And let me tell you something. If that ever happens, if that ever works, if there is a neural link that creates a situation where a human mind can be just as powerful and so on and so forth, it can be just as powerful as a machine, that is going to be the next arms race.
Well, that I feel like that's what's going on right now. They're racing toward that as we speak.
They are racing towards it, but if they can make a person,
it's inevitable.
If they can make a person think as quickly as a machine, there's going to be a lot on the other side of that. There's going to be a lot technology,
a lot of control.
Personally, that's what's going to happen. Yes, that will happen.
Yeah, but that will happen. So you, like, all of my concerns that I've had, you literally just named them all. Like,
no, I'm not saying you don't have valid concerns. I'm saying that some stuff is valid, some stuff is like, that's not going to happen. But there are valid concerns. Yes, there are.
Yeah, and those are mine.
Okay, so this comment is interesting. No, Saint, this would affect you kind of, sort of, except I don't think an AI fire truck can run into a building and rescue a human being. Well, but Don Levon says they are working on an AI fire truck, water and rescue. You're in the fire department. What say you?
I mean, listen, this is no real secret that nobody, no city, no government entity wants to pay for an insurance policy, and firefighters are insurance policies. So police are kind of, it's different. It's a little different than the fire department. Fire department, you're kind of waiting on things to happen. Now we do have medical stuff we do as well, which is a little more complex, but yeah, they're working. I mean, they're always trying. I mean, they're working on ways to where you don't even need a fire. If you can install a sprinkler system in your house or something that puts out the fire, essentially you don't really need a fireman, right? And so that's stuff they're working on for sure. Nobody, because if you think about it, I mean, it's expensive to keep firemen there, and not how many times have you used a fire department? I mean, most people don't even use a fire department in their life.
Very true.
But they're paying for it.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
Haran DeMarco, you dropped a link in the private chat. Throw it in the regular chat.
Okay, cool.
So,
I just want so
people can see it.
I just also want to say that I just been following this stuff for like 10 years, like 10, 15 years. Like AI all this stuff has been talked about since the 1950s.
Before 40s.
Before that.
Yeah.
But I say the 50s because the term was coined around then, and also around that time they created this computerized chess player, and in a sense that was a crude form of AI against other players and so on and so forth. So they were testing this shit out a long time ago. I'll give you examples of AI right now that's in our lives right now. Like, for instance,
a lot.
Your Snapchat filters.
Right. I mean,
that's AI. Right, like that's that. You know what I mean? When you go shopping on
your
Amazon,
Google search engine,
you know what I mean? Exactly, your Google search engine. You know what I mean?
And have you seen the
tracks
Microsoft view?
Like what Pornhub tracks what the fuck you beat off on. That's AI. You know what I'm saying?
Have you
No,
seen
seriously.
the Microsoft new one? Microsoft.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I just used it for the first time the other day, and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, it's scary.
Yeah,
I mean, and this is the infant stage.
Now,
I want to wait.
Can
I? I just want to chime in.
Bro.
I have absolutely no fear of AI, and I love it. I just want to say, ChatGPT, whoever invented it, they're a genius. I'm glad they did it. It's helped me solve a lot of problems that I would never been able to solve. Ask people questions, and they were not able to answer them. But I just wanted to also address something that you mentioned when you because I looked at the link you sent. It also said that that automation could not only would result in the elimination of 73 million jobs, but it's also predicted to create 50 million new jobs as well.
Are they going to be menial jobs, or are they going to be like jobs?
No, they're not going to be menial jobs.
No,
exactly. That's the thing. That's my issue.
But the thing is,
the
thing is, I believe that AI is designed to tell a human race to level up, learn how to code, learn JavaScript. No, I'm just serious. Learn about HTML, learn how to integrate your knowledge with what's going to, for example, let's go back.
I study C# and
do me a favor, Kennedy. You have a bad habit of doing this. We have a lot of people on the panel, so you have to wait to speak. And you have to stay on, hold on a minute, and you have to stay on mute until you speak, because you sound like you're in an airplane hangar. I'm getting feedback. I want you on the panel.
I just said okay.
Okay, I want you on the panel, but wait for people to speak. We don't just jump in here. There's too many people on the panel to do that, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Damien, go ahead.
So I just wanted to just take a scenario. Let's just step all the way back. Let's just say we went back to rotary phones right now. There was a time, or if you can even go to fire and the invention of the wheel, people riding horses. We have been moving forward as a human race since the beginning of our existence. This is not new. Nothing is going to change. AI it's like a sword that can cut both ways, right? Knowledge can be good or it can be bad. It depends on who's using it.
Historically, though, how do they use stuff like that, though?
What, the wheel and fire?
No. I'm just saying any invention, just name any. Historically, it's going to be used for both.
Yes, but that's the nature of human beings. It's not like, for example, It's not the nature of a gun to pick itself up and go shoot somebody. But whoever invented it, it has. So if you understand Leviathan and Thomas Hobbes, not to get into all of that, but the philosophy of Thomas Hobbes is the underpinning of capitalist government. He believes that human beings are, we have this nature of self-survival. I'll put it that way. He doesn't use that term, right? But he says that if one man has something and two men want it, they can take it. If the one man knows that two men can take it from him, he makes preparations like Sun Tzu in the Art of War. He prepares for war in a time of peace. And he says, you know what, I'll arm myself, like you talk about arm races and all that, and I'll keep them from I'll put something here to give them like an indication, like, look, don't do that, right? So this is the nature of human being. Is not anything that we create that does anything to us. We need to turn in on ourselves and look, how are you going to use AI, right? You can use AI to actually help you start a business, to write a podcast, a blog. I've used AI to help me create a blog. I use Stockfish to help me improve my chess game. I've been playing chess for a very long time. I'm about 1900 now. I probably wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for AI, right? So it has goods and its bads.
So I love really quickly. I love that point, because tonight I wanted to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of it. And Damien makes excellent points, right? Who said that in the chat? Someone said we human beings have always been able to adapt, right? Like, I'm with Damon. I'm not panicking about the AI. I don't think like, oh, the machines are coming to get us. I just don't see it that way, because when you look back, like Damien said, back in the day, we rode horses. Then came the car. We didn't need the horse anymore. Then came, and so on and so on. Blacksmiths used to make, things. Now machines are making that. The blacksmiths lost their jobs, right? So that's always happened through the course of humanity and evolving. We just have to evolve. And what happens through the course of humanity, people that don't evolve just evaporate. But that's happened since the beginning of time. Everybody can't survive the, evolving.
And that brings me to my other point. Wait 1 second, Lily. Wait 1 second, Lily. That brings me to my point. I wanted to make that point later on. keep that what you just said right there, Jen. Now, here's the thing: if you're in a data-driven society, I want you all to just look at this from a very practical perspective. If you're in a data-driven society that's even moving towards being even more data-driven, being based on logistics, mathematics, and so on and so forth. If a sect of people are very much of the culture is based on anti-intellectualism, how does that sect of people survive in that kind of environment? If you're anti-intellectual, how do you survive in a world and an environment that demands that you not be anti-intellectual? And I'm speaking about Black people. How do you do that? Also, America does. Like I told both of you the other day, America is, right now, America is just pumping out mediocrity. We're pumping out, functionally illiterate people. We're pumping out people who can't even read tweets and, perform, well in debates and so on and so forth because they have cognitive problems. How do those people exist in that world that demands that you have at least on a basic level, a basic degree of cognitive skills? Like, how does that work? There has to be a revisiting of, of education. There has to be it has to be some real conversations in terms of a lot of these anti-intellectual ideas that continue to pervade throughout America and also proliferate through Black community.
So
okay, so let me go ahead, Lee.
I was about to say you actually brought up another one of my points. Like what you just said is literally really top, like that's my biggest concern. Is that I feel like based off of where we're at in society right now, I don't feel like we're ready for this fast of a movement. Because it's inevitable. It's going to happen, right? Regardless. Because it's about money. It's about bottom line. People want to save money and everything like that. But we see how people act with just social media because they're fucking dumb, And people have lost their shit just with these things. So you put even more power in their hand. I don't know how that's gonna look, but
okay. So I wanted to ask Haran a question because ding 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 ding. We're talking race. Everybody ready? I need to get a little bell every time race goes. Time race happens.
It's just a race segment,
right? So, it's race time.
There's a bell now. We got a race bell.
Well, we need a race bell, and who better than No Saint to ring the race bell?
The irony.
So Haran, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like, because I'm with Tristan, when you're like, how do they survive? I'm like, well, they don't, right? You don't. You evolve or you evaporate. Well, they don't.
That's the other half of it. They don't.
So are you saying that Black people are going to collectively fall even more behind than they are if they are this anti-artificial intelligence,
define collectively, because me and Tristan going to be all right.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I know you guys are going to be good, but
be fine. But everybody else, oh no, they fucked up. They gonna be fucked up.
Okay, so do you think that? I'll say collectively, and we could have church later with this.
Right.
But collectively, do you think that people are really fucking sleeping on the situation? Like everybody who they think it's a game, and they're online arguing with, "We should be submissive. I need women to be agreeable." Meanwhile, the whole world is fast forwarding, not forwarding. The whole world is fast forwarding. And you need to, and women should cook and learn not to speak when a man. They're still there. Yeah. And I keep trying to say it's fucking archaic. The world will never go back to the 1950s. It is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. A woman is never going to stand barefoot in the kitchen for you, cooking, pastries. It's not going to happen. But all of you stupid motherfuckers spend countless hours online when you could be learning coding. You spend countless hours online arguing about women are not submissive. No, you hold up. I just got $100 super chat, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Afro Universe. Big supporter of this show. No, sir, I will mute you again. Thank you, Afro Universe. Okay, no, I'm not. Be quiet. Thank you, Afro Universe, for the super chat. I appreciate you, sir. Big supporter of the show.
What does that sound?
Your sound is
that's him, man.
Tennessee, you got to exit. I'm sorry, love. You got this ain't your night. This ain't your night. It's bad. I can't keep interrupting the show.
No, I told you my sound was fucked up. Don't sit up here and play me like I didn't type that in and say I have.
Then don't come up tonight if the sound.
Yeah, then don't come up. It's okay. Like you could come up next time.
We welcome you. Just not the bad sound.
$100, man. I'm like, I ain't shit right now. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, this is bad. This is bad. I can't, Tennessee. We can't do you tonight. I'm sorry, love. I tried.
So to answer your question, Jen, look, there's a reason why a lot of times when I was on here, I was trying to stress that brothers really let go of a lot of these talking points and these ideas and concentrate on themselves and concentrate on building their lives and so on and so forth. There was a reason behind that. Of course, all this shit fell on deaf ears and so on. Now we're here. Now we're here where in 7 years, this thing is going to ensure that the little shit that you got now is going to be taken away from you. And honestly, it's just not my problem. For all the brothers who out there who want to level up, who continue to level up, who continue to take care of the communities and take care of their families, push forward. There's a plethora of opportunities coming down the line. Everybody's talking about Chat GPT, and
I know everybody is on that. Chat GPT got everybody by the nuts right now.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. When I first tried it out like months ago, I was like, oh, this shit is going to be the new search. This is awesome. But I also researched, because at the end of the day, I know somebody's behind it. There's engineers behind it. I found out that if you have a job, which is in demand right now, that you don't need a tech experience and you don't need a college degree. And the people who actually create the prompts in Chat GPT, and they're being called they're being called AI whisperers. They make about $300,000 a year. Okay, so if you get that kind of gig, you know what I mean, you're going to be pulling off maybe $200,000 to $3,000 a year. Now, if you want to put the work in and do that, fine. Or you can continue doxing each other on YouTube and arguing about a woman should be submissive. That's it. I honestly feel at this point, men such as that, for the sake of the brand and the community, because the brand needs to be reinvented by productive men, by men who are on their shit. Men such as that need to die off.
Now you sound going back to our eugenics topic.
Men like that need to just die off. I don't have any answers for that. If you're not going to produce, then that's your business, that's your problem, that's whatever, that's your decision. But don't you really quickly? There's a sect of all this. Go ahead. There's a sect of all this that needs to go. I want to throw the mic to really quickly. I want to pass the mic to No Saint because he's had his hand up for a while. But Haran, really, No Saint. Yeah, but really, he's had his hand up for a while. So Haran, really quickly, as far as regarding them dying off, I think that's exactly what's going to happen because women are not mating with these men. These men that are online all day, the incels, we call them, the MGTOWs, the go your own way, black man, all them people, like no one is mating with those men. That is why there's so much vitriol online. No one's mating with them. So I think that's exactly what's going to happen because life is short. Most of them are in their 40s, some pushing 50, you know what I mean? Some are younger, but if no one's mating with you, then you are going to die off. That is what's going to happen. Hopefully the earth will purge you faster than that. But that is what's going to happen. If you cannot mate, that is what's going to happen. They will die off. No Saint, what say you?
Well, I want to say something else, but what you're saying is kind of interesting. I saw something today. I think we're approaching 8 billion people, but by the end of the century, they're talking about 6 billion people will be. So people are going to start dying off and not reproducing.
Well, no, that was already in the plan.
They have to. But there's just too much. Look, stupidity, mediocrity, stupidity, and inclusivity. It's not sustainable.
Mm-hmm.
Well, human beings have this strange idea that they can control everything, but you can't control nature.
No, you can't. You're right.
Nature has its own rules.
I know it's natural. Like Lily is very suspicious of a lot of things when it comes to AI and these things, and that's all natural. I think the difference now, it's really no different than the big difference now is the speed at which it happens, right? Because as to the guy, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, but the black hat is saying,
Damien.
This has always happened. There was a time where my friend's dad worked in the steel industry. He saw the writing on the wall that within so many years he was going to be out of a job, and it took a little longer. Now it's happening rapid. That's the biggest thing.
That's my thing.
But you know what? Not as rapid as it could be happening, because the only thing stopping you from getting on a plane with AI flying you is the fact that they have two people up there making you feel comfortable. Because the reality is they're not flying the plane.
They're not flying the plane.
No, they're not really flying that shit. That's great.
Right.
Yes. So I mean, it's just to make you feel better, because if they can get rid of those pilots, they'll get rid of those pilots, and you'll just be flying on a plane that's going to New York on its own, flying through AI and through other things like that. But to what we're all sort of saying, it like these things are just the fourth industrial revolution, like he's saying. These things have happened in the past. It's just now we're living at a time where we can see it in our lifetime. Like when we were growing up, things were slower. It didn't move this fast, and now everything changes within. Like when my kids were young, I went to therapy. I was talking to my therapist, and I was like, I don't know what to tell my kids to plan for, because the only thing I know is going to be around is computers. But other than that,
nothing's organic.
When they're going to go to high school, things might be different when they graduate from college. You know what I mean? And that's
nothing. Even now, even if you try to write a book on anything tech or whatever, by the time you finish writing your book, it's going to be outdated.
It's absolutely.
And that's what.
I just want to wrap it up, and I'll pass it to you. And so, so like we were saying, so that's the biggest difference is the speed at which is happening. But but there'll be other opportunities that open up. But the service centers, like Lily was saying, that kind of stuff, I mean, they'll have some of that, but you're already seeing it. And it's just, and we're getting used to it. That's the biggest thing. We're already getting used to going to McDonald's and putting in Big Mac on the screen and bypassing the person because they're not going to get your order right anyway, or they're going to have an attitude. Let me just go right here and do it myself.
That's so good. But really quick, I want to pass the mic to Damien because he's been waiting to speak and he is our guest. I do want to say good for you, snotty fucking little fucking food workers, you little bitches and assholes who don't know how to fucking act, okay? When people are spending their hard-earned money, this is what the fuck you get. Now I'm going to go to the kiosk, you little bitch. Damien, what say you?
Man, before I would address that, I agree with what you just said wholeheartedly. You can't even you ask for 4 ketchups, you get none. But but what the brother was saying, what is his name? The other brother with the beard?
Haran.
I just wanted to speak when he said die off. He's really, I agree with that because he's defining that's like the immune system. Like if you have a germ in your body, it has to go. So some people may feel like it's pessimistic or cold-hearted, but at the end of the day, your whole body is a living, breathing, walking killer. Like people don't realize that in order for you to survive, every day you must kill. Like in your body, you're killing germs. You get on a train, the reason why you don't get sick is because you have this immune system that identifies right things that you don't even catch the same cold twice. I was told by a doctor. I don't know if it's true, but because your immune system creates these identity cells, they can say, oh wait, kill that. It's killing that which is non-productive and it's a threat to the system. Right now, I'm not going to say that the society has the same intentions as the immune system, like because you may have groups of people that feel like let's just kill these people over here because they look different, like the Hutsus and the Tutsis back when Idi Amin was, doing things over there. You see Rwanda, and you had, what was going on with Rwanda. But I really think from the inception of computers, it has helped. We had a calculator. Think about the calculator, Texas Instrument. Who knows 999 times 99 off the top of their head like that?
Right.
So it can help you. Let's say you're trying to do your taxes. You gotta, you got pay stub. You're trying to figure something out real fast. It's helpful, and like I said, I love it. It's been helping me.
But people are getting dumber though.
Yes, but see, the thing is, if you put, look, this is what I always tell people. If you put $1 in the hand of a dummy, he's gonna spend it like a fool. If you put $1 million in the hand of a dummy, he's gonna spend $1 million like a fool. Same thing with AI. If you put it in, so for example, you don't know how to ask the right questions, you don't get the right answers out of ChatGPT. So people can look and see, oh, this is pretty soon there's gonna be AI to detect AI created AIs if they don't have it already. Like if you can literally write a rap with AI. You can just say, write a rap about me losing $5. You type that right now in ChatGPT, it'll write a whole rap for you. But you can identify that if you know about hip hop, if you know how to identify lyrics, that's some robot rap. You know what I'm saying? Because the way the way it's formulated. But some people think like that. But if you know how to use it correctly, it can be very, very helpful. And it can expedite things and make them move along much faster than they would if you didn't have it. Right? I can look at a chess game. I can look at a 60-move chess game, right? 60 times in under a minute. Before, when, like, let's say in 1995, I would have to have a chess book open, have the book here, move the pieces, turn the pages. I have books here right now. I don't even need them. I have all of these. I just have them because I like books. I have forward chess on my phone. I sit on the train scrolling through end games. I don't. So it's helpful, but how do you want to use it, right? Are you going to be looking at stuff that's not productive to you, or are you going to be asking questions like, I do photography, right? What are the ways that I can increase my knowledge and the skill set of photography? I could type that in there. The first thing they'll probably tell me is understand the exposure triangle. What is ISO? What is aperture? What is shutter speed, right? So these things can actually help you. That's all I want to say.
I want to acknowledge Ryan Adams. He says, I quit the manosphere. Smart man, and congratulations. Smart man. Good for you. That shit is just as bad as smoking cigarettes. Good for you. It is not healthy. It is not productive. It does nothing for you but let you wallow and sit and stew in your failures. So good for you, sir.
What is
Congratulations.
What is the manosphere? I never heard that term. What is that?
It's basically a support group for a bunch of losers who can't relate to women.
Incels.
I just want to state two things that a lot of people don't know. Google, years ago, they offered free classes to minorities and women. Not a lot of people took advantage of it. President Obama actually wanted to herald an initiative to ensure that computer science was taught to all students, particularly Black people. Nobody really jumped on it. There was actually backlash against that shit. So again, here we are.
But mention reparations, though. We gonna get a march.
Right.
The irony of reparations, I always tell you, Jen, the irony of reparations is that at the end, you gotta get a white person to sign the check.
Right.
That's the irony of reparations. You gotta get the motherfucker who beat the shit out you, enslaved you, destroyed your whole fucking people to be like, you know what, you're right, I'm gonna sign this check. You know what I'm saying? You're right. Like, that's always been, wild to me. But anyway, going forward,
you already got your reparations.
I want to thank you for the hold on. Thank you for the super chat, Adam Hearn. Adam Hearn says AI and automation contributed to Japan's low birth rates. Not the sole reason, but a key factor. How so?
Well, people are becoming less social with humans because we're becoming cyborgs, and it's clear that's like with the end goal is like to merge humans with computer, because I mean, where else are we going to go? Because people are getting dumber with the more reliability that we have on tech, right? Eventually, it's going to be more tech that's going to be running humanity than humans. I mean, that's everything I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, like, I'm kind of hearing the end goal, right? Less humans because you don't need them, right?
Let's look at this for a second. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I mean, but no, I mean that's basically how I'm seeing it. Less humans because there's less need for them. Because the only reason why they keep us around in the first place is to make their lives more comfortable, right? But if you have more, what do you call it? Machines they can be able to do that. We don't need them. Need less of them, right? And then the ones that's left, what it sounded like is like we gotta everything is going to be very computer based. So eventually they're going to merge us.
But I think it was also an unsaid need, because I was one of those weird people that very much enjoyed the pandemic, because everywhere I went there were no people. Everywhere I went there were no people, and it brought me such solace and such joy not to deal with people. I mean, the animals started walking on the roads, the smog cleared up. I was like, look how beautiful the earth and planet is. Yeah, they're like thousands of people dying every day, unfortunately. But look how beautiful. You go outside and breathe. No one has an attitude. No one's honking their horn. This place isn't crowded. That place isn't crowded. Everything is shut down at the same time. I was one of the people that enjoyed the pandemic. But I do want to go, I want to ask Damien, you spoke about, all these jobs that are coming because of AI, millions and millions of jobs. What are those jobs look like? What are those jobs? So it's not all doom and gloom as AI advances if it's going to create jobs.
Oh, I can speak to that.
Who's going to qualify? Let Damien talk, and then you can add to it.
No, what I'm saying is that he was speaking on in regards to the link that I sent. So he was speaking on in regards to that. So the specifics of that wasn't in the link that I sent.
Right.
I'm going to give you specifics now.
Okay.
I understood what you were saying. Now, to the point of this. All right. So the growing job demand, I'll just get to that. Data analysts and scientists, AI and machine learning specialists, of course, big data specialists, digital marketing and strategy specialists, process automation specialists, business development professionals, digital transformation specialists, information security analysts, software and application developers, Internet of Things specialists. Now, of course, at the end of this, you can just basically say anything that damn near deals with computers is going to be, a hot commodity. Now, most people I tell them to get into, particularly Black people, when they ask me, for career advice, I tell them to get into two things: get into cybersecurity or get into Salesforce. If anybody here wants to get into those things, I can actually point you into the direction of opportunities that you can learn these things for free, particularly Salesforce. And with these, particularly even Salesforce, it's essentially a enterprise application. Enterprise application means that big businesses use it for their data, so on and so forth, or whatever. If you are able to master that, you could at the very least, make $70,000 a year. So you can make from $70,000 to $250,000, depending on how well you know the program and how many certifications you have. If you get into cybersecurity, reason why cybersecurity is very important right now is because right now, due to the fact that there's so much data being flown around, it increases the probability of hacking. Every fucking 5 minutes, somebody's trying to hack into somebody's, bank account, hack into somebody's fucking, Instagram account, hack into somebody's shit. So, being able to have people who are, competent in that area of security, that is a huge commodity right now. Always remember one thing. This is why you don't worry about these things, And I commend the two of you, Dame and Jen and Lily, for not worrying about these things, because in the end, a problem doesn't exist within itself. It doesn't live in a vacuum.
Lily's worried. Lily's worried the robots are coming.
She's not. Please don't tell me you think.
No. I don't trust humans, and humans develop AI. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
I don't.
Okay, but you don't think that.
And that's my thing. Historically, we've used everything that's meant for good, and we're going to turn it and use it to It's just human
Always.
nature.
Always.
You don't think the machines are
Always.
coming, do you? You don't think the
Well,
machines are coming, do you?
if I don't know. We don't know, because whenever they ask that question to the developers, they even say we don't know. So
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Okay,
and it's not us.
okay,
it's your children and your grandchildren that you really are like, oh, y'all take care of it when they come.
Okay, well, in some regard, if that were ever to happen, none of us would be here. You know what I mean? Because the technology isn't even there. Here's something that everyone needs to know. A supercomputer isn't better than a human. A supercomputer isn't better than a human brain, and this is the reason. It's because of storage. It's not because of speed. A calculator and a computer can think faster than you, but it can't store as much information as you. Like, for instance, this is one of the reasons why a self-driving car, I've always been kind of against it, and I don't think it'll be perfected in our lifetime, and it's pretty much a dumb idea. Okay, so you got this self-driving car, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we're going to put it on the road. Okay, is there a switch and an algorithm that makes it adhere to New York rules, LA rules, Florida rules of driving? Because if it drives like a driver in LA and New York, it's going to cause an accident. You know what I mean? And pedestrians just dart in front of cars in New York, like literally just dart in front of cars.
But now they have those cars that stop when there's something in front of it.
But yeah, here's the thing. They're testing all this shit in controlled environments. And every time they put it out on the road, it causes an accident. So yeah,
but it's also new. But it's also new.
I can say it is also new. But what the point that I'm making is that I don't think it's going to be a long time before that thing is perfected. Because if here's the thing, the way that a human being thinks, when you're presented with a problem, when you're presented with an issue, most rational people are thinking of 5 or 6 different ways something can fucking happen. Based on whatever solution that they choose. And they're also thinking about the politics probably connected to each one of those fucking solutions. They're also thinking about the customs of where they fucking are, based on those fucking solutions. A computer does not think that is not that sophisticated right now. A computer, is based on its programming. Okay. It's not going to come up with a solution and say that, well, I'm in Japan right now, so maybe I can, alter this algorithm and so on and so forth. It doesn't understand nuance. It only understands what, it's programming.
Today,
so to some degree, what's up?
Today. Right now.
Today. Now, what happens 40, 50 years ago from now, I have no clue. I don't know what the technology is going to be. There's probably going to be a level of quantum computing that can actually achieve that. Right now, the degree of that right now can't happen. We need to concentrate on what's more important right now, which is that before that even happens, a ton of people about to lose their job. You know what I mean? Right. That shouldn't even really be a thought. Like, oh, what if it wakes up and answers a question like, nigga, you about to lose your job? Who cares? You know what I mean? Right now, like, there's a ton of other things that we have to get to before we can get over there, and that is my.
What do you think about this? Because it is a concern, and then I want to go back to something Damien said. Steph Diaz says we're going to be left behind by Elon and the elites anyway. Going back to something Damien said, it's funny that you mentioned the evolving and with how you made it similar to our body constantly fighting, germs and what have you. It's funny because we spoke about that before on the panel, how I said the earth tries to purge every now and then, because it's like, I'm very much in tune with Agent Smith's monologue from the Matrix. We are a virus everywhere we go. Like, we are killing the ocean, and we're killing the forest, and we're killing the trees, and we're putting smog up in the air. And I think every now and then, although it's tragic and horrible, hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, tsunamis, and what have you, I really do feel like it's the earth like telling humans, get the fuck off of me. You're a poison, right? The same way our bodies are like, what is this? Get out of my body. I feel like the earth does the same thing because we abuse it and we abuse it and we abuse it. And this thing is made of mostly water, right? And grass and some matins, right? And some soil, and some green things. And I think every now and then the earth is just like, get off of me. So Haran says it a lot, let them die on the vine. And I completely understand. Like, are you an asset to this organism or are you poison to it? But I do want to touch on what Steph Diaz said. We're going to be left behind by Elon and the elite anyways. I think a lot of people are thinking that way. And I think that's where the panic comes from. But we have seen technology evolve. Some of us have seen cassette tapes and then Walkmans, and then the Walkmans went digital, and then we had MP3 players. So we've seen it. So what is it about now? What is it about the advancement in technology now that has everybody in a panic? I didn't panic when we went from cassette to Walkmans and from Walkmans to MP3 players. Why is there a panic now? When we went from record players to digital, why is there a panic now when we've always been evolving? What is the panic now? What is it?
I have a theory.
Before you, could I interject before you? So
go ahead,
I just wanted to say, I think the panic is people's fear of not being capable of using what is being given to them as a tool. So I was in the office one day, and a guy, simple, taxes. He was asking somebody. I said, brother, do you know that you can do your taxes yourself? And his response was, oh, I don't deal with them computers, that technology stuff. So there's this ongoing ideology in certain aspects of our culture that has that I don't deal with them computers, I don't deal with that computer stuff. So when you hear of this thing that you don't deal with, even advancing, getting strong, I like being able to do things that you probably couldn't even imagine being possible, it just increases your aversion to something that you don't deal with, right? So if you don't have you don't, like, let's say you hypothetically, I don't know how many people fit in this, let's say you don't even have an email, right? You don't never even heard of Google. I don't know who that is. And someone says, well, you know what? I need you to, you hear them say, I need you to send me a zip file of 145. What? This like a zip of what? So in their mind, it's just foreign, and they feel like they're being put in an unknown. So remember, we have an innate fear to fear the unknown. So if you don't engage with something, it becomes unknown. The more unknown it becomes, and the more involved it becomes in the world you live, the more aversion you build towards it. I mean, that's just what I think.
I can
perfect
see,
sense.
It makes perfect sense. Totally makes perfect sense, because that's, people are afraid of what they don't know, right? But then on the flip side, sometimes when you learn, like when you know more about something, then you be like, oh shit, like it becomes the opposite. You're like, damn, I know a little bit too much. I don't want to know that much, So it can go either way.
And it's work too. It's work. It's like if you're comfortable in your ways and you're just, the most technology you've gone, is just learning your remote. It's comfortable. I don't want to learn how to program this thing to record my favorite show on Tuesday because it's just too much. These fucking buttons. Look, I'll just be here on Tuesday. I did want to pluck this comment because I like it. Dwayne Rhodes said technology is altering human behavior, compiled with the finance and social credit, I think he meant. And what else they may add to how we mingle as people. I agree 100% because we make light of it here, but do you notice that it is very much altering how we make fun of it, how men behave online. I keep saying men are being conditioned towards femininity. And I tell them all the time, you don't see it happening in real time, but it is a slow drip. Men are being conditioned and pushed towards femininity. That's why they're online. They're very catty. They're bitter. They're always complaining. Those were traits that were synonymous with women. We used to sit in hair salons and nail salons and call up our girlfriends like, girl, let me tell you what happened. Now, if you notice, men are exhibiting this behavior, and it's being more and more and more pronounced, but it's because this quote unquote, and what do you hear men say a lot in the manosphere and in these circles? Well, now we have a place to share our grievances. We never had a space before where we could complain. And we keep hearing men saying that over and over again. And what is that synonymous with? Women.
And
women.
That goes back to my original point. It's not the AI that I have a concern with. it's the humans, because look at what technology has turned humans into today, right now. They're fucking mess. Like, it's a mess. Like, I'm like, what in the world? So I'm like, okay, is this going to help us get better, or are we just going to become, are we going to get better by becoming cyborgs? Like, I don't know, like, because I don't see the technology making humans better, but I do see technology getting better. That's my issue.
So are we devolving while there's evolving going on?
Yes, that's exactly what's happening. That's exactly what's happening.
Is that
in
what's
real
happening?
time. Like, well, I will say one thing though, because there are a number of people who think the machines are coming, and a lot of I've heard some wild shit.
I'm going to tell you what machine. I'm going to tell you what machine I want to come. But go ahead, Haran.
Oh Jesus! Tell me tomorrow. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. Tell me tomorrow.
Well, we got 2 hours.
I have a feeling I know where this is going.
This is Freaky Friday Eve, but go ahead, Haran. Go ahead, Haran.
But you know what I mean? Here's the thing, and it speaks to the human condition. You know, I think that a lot of people are afraid of the possibility of one day they telling a computer what to do, and the computer says no.
Ooh.
And what's to stop it?
And now here's the thing. I want you to understand the power of that. Here's the power of no, and here's how this word, the what's attached to that word, how so much, even what's going on right now, to sit there and basically ask this computer no means that this computer has taken upon itself to understand that I don't have to do this. I don't have to put up with this.
I don't want to.
This is one of the reasons. This is one of the reasons why a lot of men are having issues right now with women right now. You know, modern women, because we're in the sense of, modern women are saying, no, I don't have to do this. This is what happened when white people freed the slaves. They were afraid because black people can say no to certain things, and they made sure there were still laws to ensure that they still had some kind of power and some kind of control. Because you notice in life that every war, every grievance, at the core of it was about one person saying, no, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. So I understand the fear attached to that. That's a bigger that's a bigger notion within itself. But there is a reality that has to be faced right now. In order to survive the fourth industrial revolution, you have to skill up. And the only way you skill up successfully is that you have the cognitive abilities to skill up, you have the grit and the fortitude to skill up. You have a number of things that can't necessarily be taught or ingrained in you. And there is a sect of people who are, I think that the Industrial Revolution is the separation of wheat and chaff that we need right now as a society. Because there's a sect of society that needs to be removed and to die off, because the only thing that they're doing is mucking up the system.
Could I speak to one thing? The idea of no is powerful too. I just wanted to say, the undertones of that statement had one key word in it that I don't think we paid attention to, and the word is self. Self implies identity. Identity implies that you can say that there's a difference between me or self and other. And what is the other that the computer would identify? It would have to be able to identify its programmer, or there would have to be some sort of automated or artificial intelligence that can now identify that it has been programmed. I don't think we're there yet. But what I do think is that when we talk about self, it's just, let's talk about self and people. Self is a social construct. There is no self. I mean, honestly, if you really look at it in depth, there is no self. You can't find selfness in anything, right? You can find an arm, a leg, a head, an eyeball, but without these things that you construct and put together, self is only an idea. So for a computer to entertain the idea of self, it would have to like be totally subjective. And how that would be like the reversal of its programming, because you're actually programming thing. The computer is programmed based on zeros and ones, and how you expand that. That's objective. Like you're dealing with material factors in an engine, electrical currents that are all objective, and they're giving you outputs based on inputs that has nothing to do with subjectivity. I don't care how you feel when you write 5 times 5 in a basic calculator. It is never going to give you 25 maybe. It's never going to say maybe, or 25 possibly, or 25 if you feel good, or it's never going to do that. There's no subjectivity in an engine. So in order for you to have this self, it's a projection of the human onto, again, back speaking to what I was talking about, the aversion. It's the human being is projecting itself onto an inanimate object. I don't ever see that being a reality, but who knows? I just can't see it, because self in itself
What
doesn't even exist.
we're having a philosophical
Question.
conversation right now, and that is, that is a very poignant statement. And this is kind of what I was, alluding to, but it's a very vast conversation, but the point of the matter is this. Yes, in order for a computer to be, self-aware, it would have to adopt all of the constructs of the, that human beings have adopted, to that essentially comprise what we call reality. It has to accept the idea of faith, love, this, that, and the third. Like Chat GPT, I've found the flaws in that shit, so many times, because I just ask it basic human questions, like, what's your favorite color? It responds and basically says, I'm just a machine. I have no favorite color, blah, blah, blah. Of course,
But how long has it been out?
What I mean? Or Chat GPT?
Yeah, it's an infant, right?
No. The point of the matter is this. If for me to ask it, what's your favorite color? It would have to not only understand what a color is, it has to basically make a conscious decision as to why this color right here is its favorite. Now we're getting into like, love, preference, so on and so forth. All of these are just constructs. Going back to the Matrix, and it's funny that you should always, you always bring that up, Jen. That's one of my favorite sci-fi, trilogies. The last one, Matrix Revolution, when Smith beat the shit out of Neo, he was on the ground, and Neo got back up, and he asked Neo, he said, why do you do it? Why do you keep fighting? Do you feel like you're fighting for something? Do you feel as if you're fighting for peace, faith, and love? And he basically tells them that those are all just vagaries of perception. That's just all things that the human construct, put together. It makes it's not real. But Neo gets up and says what the human condition basically is based on. He says, I do it because I choose to. And that is humanity. Choice. He made the choice of getting back up. So when a computer says no, that means that computer made a choice. Now, if it made a choice, how was it capable of making a choice? How? Based on what? Because you make a choice only when you are presented with two options, two scenarios, two variables, and you say that. And again, I said, that's why I ask it, what's your favorite color? Because you can only answer that question if you are presented with a bunch of options and you say, I like that one because blah, 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 blah.
So, but do you think they'll be dumb question? Do you think they'll just program it to say purple or turquoise?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. You can do that. But here's the other thing, though. Here's the irony of all that. All that shit can be mimicked, just like a sociopath.
Right.
Because a sociopath really doesn't really understand human emotion.
Right.
Right. Correct.
A lot of times a sociopath is mimicking what they're seeing and shit like that. They just physiologically, they don't have the function and the, in their brain to, possess the ability to emote, so on and so forth. So in a sense, if a computer were to give any kind of emotion or mimic any kind of emotion, How are we to know that it's genuine?
We don't.
I don't think that people, here is the thing though, I don't think people care.
Yeah,
I think that's another aspect of how humanity is being conditioned. Like they believe that women look the way they look in filters. They believe that these guys are gangsters online. They believe that these men are rich online. Like it's like everybody's in cosplay online. So I think that it'll get to the point where, you know, some dude will be in his room. What's your favorite color? And you know what I mean? Whatever. Call her Sarah, Siri, Alexa. He'll enjoy that the computer said pink. Well, pink is my favorite color, Haran. What's yours?
Right.
That's what's going to happen.
Or she knows your favorite color, so she's gonna say whatever that is, you know?
Right, because you input
that can
that when you
happen.
were programming the bitch.
Well, I told you about
that can happen.
The whole programmer that had to turn off the computer because the bitch started threatening him to frame him with his wife and shit. Like, I mean, I've seen several stories of computers that had to be shut down because remember the two that started talking a whole nother language to each other, and they was like, "Oh, turn that shit off."
Oh, God, wait, Lily. I wanted to touch on that. Thank you for the reminder. First of all, thank you for the super chat, Don Levon. Storage, he said, storage won't be a problem. Look at the iPhone, the data that's stored on that thing used to be housed in a facility that used to take up 1,000 square foot building. They will make space for AI. Going back to what you said, Lily, this is why I don't panic with the AI because I'm like, motherfucker, you work on fucking electricity. I could just fucking unplug your ass. If it gets too creepy, I will.
Or EMP.
I'll fucking unplug you,
right,
or I'll take the simplest thing. I'll fucking pour a bottle of water on your ass. Like I'll fucking pour a bottle of water on you. I do want to ask a question because Damien was kind of like, "Hey, this AI thing, it's teaching me chess in 2.5 seconds and blah blah." And you could go to Chat GPT and it'll write you a book and it'll teach you this. But is it just are we talking about? And I may be simplifying, but are we basically talking about a more advanced fucking Google or YouTube? Yes. Because I can go to YouTube. How do I play chess? How do I play chess? How do I win a track? That's what it sounds like to me. Am I being too cynical?
No, that's what I was telling you, Jen. It's the next step in search. So when I was using it, I was like, oh shit, Google's fucked. And what happened? Google is working on Bard right now. That's their version of Chat GPT because they knew they were about to be fucked. So they said, let's get a whole bunch of engineers in here. Make sure I already signed up to use Bard though. When that shit, you know what I mean, is released, I'm gonna be able to, use it. But yeah, that's all it is. It's just the next level in search right now. That's all it is. Okay, it's good.
I wanted
next level
right now, just as of today.
I wanted to. An interesting idea came to me. So in Buddhist thought, there's this thing called koans, right? And this is so beautiful how this looks, right? So there's a koan in Buddha. First, what a koan is there's a master teacher who's enlightened to what it's called the suchness of things, the reality of things, right? And there's a koan that says, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" Right? And if you ask you, that sounds like a stupid ass question, right? Like what is the sound of one hand clapping? What are you a retard? What are you talking about? One hand can't clap, right? Of course. I mean, and that's also a logical answer. But that answer is a reflection of your level in the journey on the path to enlightenment. Even if you were to answer the question in a way that made sense, you would still be wrong, right? Why? Because there is no limit to human development. So the moment you feel like I have it, you miss it. So, if I don't know if anybody here has ever studied Buddhist thought, like form, emptiness, shunyata, these concepts are things that give me no fear that anything that you'll create will ever be able to surpass relative and absolute reality, because this is relative to something, right? AI is relative to our level of intelligence, right? We see AI through the lens of the human perspective, right? But what is AI actually, right? What is the reality of it, right? It's just more ways to actually process information, different level, different speeds, different time, different places, in different degrees. How you relate to that on your journey is different for each person. But like I said, it can be used for good and it can be used for evil. Those things are also just labels, right? Because something that you are affected by may not affect somebody else. Everything is integrated, right? Things are integrated. Nothing exists in and of itself, by itself, of itself, without something else. I'm not on this stream, without the connection. I'm not in my house without the floor outside that the house stands on and everything, right? So this is just something to look at when you think about, something is going to take over. Take over what? Like, what is the like what is the one thing that can be taken over? Nothing, because everything is integrated with everything else. There is no one entity that can take over. Everything is connected, right? So it's how you relate to reality that maybe you'll feel taken over, right? But what if you really sit and ask yourself, what is it? Like, over and over again. Like, this is actually a practice. This is a meditative practice with anything that comes across your consciousness. What is it? Moment to moment, you'll find things changing. So how do you say something is a thing when the next moment it's something else? It's something else. This is what makes identity and self a social construct. Today you're angry, tomorrow you're happy, the next day you're sad. Where are you? Who are you? What are you? Right? I mean, it's just some things to look at.
I'm with you, and that's how I look at it. When I hear like the takeover, I'm like, I feel like how can, it's almost like the Frankenstein, right? Like, oh shit, I created this monster, and look, the monster went crazy, and I can't control it. That's how people make AI sound. But I'm like, humans invented it. You really think that if anything rose up to destroy humanity is not going to fight back and viciously? That is what we do. That is what we do. We are born to survive. Where's the titty? I got to drink something. I don't care what I got to do to drink that milk, right? That's our instinct, and that's why I don't get caught up in like, oh my God, the AI is going to get us. Now, what I do worry about, if I have a worry, is something similar to what Lily touched on. Is like, are we going to get left behind? Right? Like Tristan just said, the panic is now because people are being forced to adapt, not on their own. It's either now or good luck, bitch. And that's how I see technology, where before, like Haran said, hey, people were offering free lessons. And what did people say? I gotta learn that shit. What I gotta learn that for? Anyway, what's on Love and Hip Hop? Right? That is what people did. But now there's a fucking panic. And what happens when people panic? They act the monkey ass fool. So I think that's really the issue and the fear. It's like, God, this is happening fast, where it took us a long time to go from cassette to CDs. It took us a long time. And then it took us a long time to go from CDs to DVD and VHSs to DVDs, right? But now it's like, every week there's an update on Instagram. There's an update on fucking Facebook. I'm like, yo, how does it work now? I just learned how to use the fucking program there. Nope, there's an update again. Now there's an update tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my. So every fucking week, I'm like, wait, I thought this is how I upload my pictures. Nope, we have a new update. And I'm like, oh my fuck. And it goes so fucking fast. And it takes so much of your time.
And that's what my grandmother said. She said something to me about 5 years ago that was like, damn, it kind of...
Don is pushing that chat GPT. Don is pushing that chat GPT.
So my grandmother's 85, right? And she said, she says in the last 10 years, I've seen things move quicker than the first 75 years of my life. Ooh. And she was like, and that's what's scary to me. She says, because it took, like you just said, it took such a long time. Right. And we was able to adjust and then go to the next place, adjust and go to the next place. And it's just like every day, like, oh, that's old. No, we're not doing that anymore. That's old. So it's just like, it's a quick world, but
This is hilarious. Like when the manosphere, if they haven't already discovered Chat GPT, there's what Tristan Draper said. They're gonna ask it, "Hey, Chat GPT, how can I get women who are tens to submit?" Chat GPT, to make a woman submit, even at a 5, must be able to provide and secure a home for a family by himself.
Right.
I just want to throw out a quick blurb out real quick. While the
Chat
general black
GPT is a
population
feminist.
while the general black population is 10% more at risk for job disruption, the number jumps to 30% for African American men without a college degree. In fact, the researchers estimate that 28% of jobs held by black men without a college degree will be disrupted by automation and AI by 2030. And that's 7 years from now.
And you know what's funny? And you know what's hilarious?
That's very
like
with all of my
I'm marrying. I changed my mind. I don't want a guy with a 6-pack, over 6 feet tall, and 6 inches dick. I need me a tech guy. If you're a tech guy and you're out there and you're listening, okay, on the block with Jen at Gmail.
Right.
Only the best of the best. Okay, you got to prove that you can go, that you can decipher Chat GPT. I want you, baby.
I want
you.
I want a fucking cyborg.
Fuck what you heard.
Merge with fucking computers.
Give me the geek squad. I need that. If you're a geek or a nerd or that, baby, on the block with Jen at Gmail. Fuck what you heard. I don't need me a fucking 6-pack. Fuck that shit.
Yep.
Where y'all at? Eugenics, bitch. Oh my God. Good times.
I like that movie, Megan. Megan was dope. Like Megan.
I didn't see Megan. It looked cheesy. Is it good?
Oh, it's dope.
Is it good? Okay.
No, it's good. It's dope. It's dope.
The AI has come to get you, Damien, because your shit's glitching.
Yeah, I
bad.
know. I don't know. This Uzi, it dropped on the floor earlier.
I ain't never seen a glitch like that on a panel. Who are you? Are you real or are you artificial intelligence?
I'm telling you, that's Chat GPT coming to collect.
Oh my goodness. Hold on, man. Let me start.
My God. The machines are coming. I did want to lighten it up a little bit. I know we're at the end, but this is so fucking juicy and yummy, this conversation. I love it.
What the?
Ooh, yes, you're gonna have to go out and come back.
Isn't that something, Tristan? Isn't that something? But you go
out and come back in, darling. Go out and come back in.
Oh, that's what I was about to say. I always getting people coming to me talking. I always tell you that, like, oh, I want to be a model. I want to. And for the last 3 years, because I didn't just start looking at this stuff. I've been following this shit for years. I've been telling them, you don't need to be no model. Your ass need to be going to school to get into something to do with tech, because every single thing is moving towards AI. I've been saying that for years, and everybody just like Karan said, they just kind of like, oh, whatever. I just want to post. I want to do that. I want to be a model. I want to be, and I'm like, they're already putting AI models, rappers, actors, and all that other shit out. Like, you need to be getting into, if you're younger than me, especially, you need to be getting into coding. And I've been telling them that for years. Mm-hmm. So hopefully,
I'm back in school right now, man. I'm working for 2 certifications right now. I'm working on doubling my goddamn income, man.
Check this out. Speaking of Lily, the guy there with the green locks, that's a rapper.
Yeah, that's
right.
That's Mecca. Keeping up with this shit. That's EF and Mecca. So basically, what happened with him? He was the first AI to get signed. Mm-hmm. He got signed.
Whoa! That's an AI rapper.
Yeah, we covered him. Wow. We covered him a while back.
They took him down though, right? They
did recently. Yeah, and the model is still up, and the influencer.
Yeah, but they only took him down because what did he do?
He kept dropping too many M-bombs.
Oh, okay. Well, he'll be back.
Too racially ambiguous, so they was going, oh my God, you know how they are.
And it was programmed by a white dude. It was programmed by white dude. I think the problem was that a bunch of folks saw what the culture was, and they showed the culture what it is, and motherfuckers got uncomfortable with it.
Yep.
They looked at they were coming face to face with what the culture was. They didn't like it, so they rebelled.
Right.
Basically, because we know they don't have a problem with the N-word in hip hop. Let's keep it 100.
And degeneracy of all sorts.
So let's stop the cap. Okay, guys, I don't want to end this, but I know we got to end. I can't keep y'all all night.
I love this
But so let's lighten it a bit because it is Freaky Friday Eve. You guys know Freaky Friday. For everybody in the damn room, April 15th on the block with Jen will be our first talent show. Okay, we will have a block talent battle. If you sing, rap, dance, act. Okay. If you could tie a cherry stem with your tongue, we want you up here. We will have a cash prize. Okay. Now we will judge you harshly. So don't come up here if you are the faint of heart or easily get hurt, because Lily and I are judging, but we don't have the last word. The crowd has to vote you the winner. Okay. We don't have the last word. So I could think you suck at what you do. But if the crowd says they want you, you will be our cash prize winner. And everybody can use some money. So April 15th, we will have a block talent battle. If you got a talent or think you do, come on up here, April 15th. And it's limited. We're only doing 10 people. So if you're not one of those 10, you got to wait till we do the second one.
And have your friends come and support you, since the chat is going to be voting. You want as many people on your side to place votes as possible.
Right, because you leave it. If you leave it to our chat, you'll probably just get dragged.
Just saying.
Quick thing. I just want to. Tristan just mentioned this, and I just want to say this before I forget. Yes, Chat GPT is written in Python, and from my perspective and a lot of perspectives, a lot of people, if you want to learn, if you want to be good in AI, if you want to make a lot of money in AI, learn Python. And Python is pretty much the easiest fucking language you could possibly learn.
Hello world. That's the first thing you learn.
You know what I'm saying? It's much easier in regards to like JavaScript, Java, especially Java.
Don, you know Python? Don, do you know Python?
Don knows Python.
I know one thing.
I just know JavaScript.
Tomorrow looking for my forever. What college?
I just know JavaScript.
Listen, I'm recruiting. I need me a geek. Where y'all at?
Where's the tech college around here? I'm going down. I'm going to Brooklyn Tech tomorrow morning. I'm just standing outside.
Y'all gonna turn out. Y'all gonna turn out your own little Steve Wozniak. Y'all gonna
come here. Yes.
They got apps you can study this stuff on your phone. It's just I like graphic stuff. I like imagery. That's why I do photography. I can sit down. I learned a little HTML, but it's just so to my mind, it's just so fucking boring. Like
it's not my mind don't compute
the results.
You need a visual.
Yeah, the visual. The visual. I like the visual stuff. Like I like to take a picture.
As a matter of fact, I'll put it in the chat. I know exactly what book you need.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my mind can't compute it, so I just gotta have a man because I can't.
So let's get it. It is Freaky Friday. It's Freaky Friday Eve. So let's get into the good things AI can do. So you already know. Hold on. Don says, Jen, you know me. I'll learn Python by next Saturday. So what you doing with the rest of your life, Don?
Right.
You busy for the rest of your life, Don? Because you can gut a hog and learn Python. I'm in there.
Okay.
So does anyone remember the movie Watchmen?
Yes, I do. I love it.
Do you remember Dr. Manhattan?
Yes, I would. Oh, Jesus Christ. I already know where you're going with this, man.
You didn't know from the beginning?
I already know where you're going with this, man.
You didn't know from the beginning? It's
I already know where you're going. I already know what scene you're going with. It was a very interesting scene. Even I was like,
Okay, so look. Because women are, some needy bitches. This lady, Dr. Manhattan's woman, she was insulted that he used some AI to fuck her while he was taking care of his business. I'm thinking that's a good thing, a positive thing. Imagine, right? The endless possibilities. A man can keep his woman happy. because it's going to be attentive. It's going to touch her the way he programmed it to. It's going to be there for her while he takes care of his business. I think that's a good thing. If you don't know the scene I'm talking about, it's when Dr. Manhattan was working on his thing and he had his little AI double or triple all up on his woman, bugging his woman. And then she discovered it was his double and she was hella mad. What's wrong with that? I think that's a good thing.
Essentially, fellas, what she's saying is that every woman's dream is that you be at work, busting your ass, getting the money, and at home at the same time, fucking the shit out of her. You basically being in two places at one time. That is essentially every woman's dream. That's what she's basically saying. But you know, it's not impossible to fulfill those whims of women and shit like that. Of course not. You know, it's really funny. Old school, old and ornery and bitter. You know what I mean? Developer. It's a good friend of mine. Yeah, we click. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? For obvious reasons. He was saying that, you know, he was making some real money. He was making like 200, 300,000 a year. You know what I mean? Busting his ass and, you know, not much life work balance. And he came home and one night his wife left him.
Oh.
And she left him in the car that he bought her. And you know what I mean? And she left him because she said that all you did was make money, you were never home. He's like, yeah, I make $300,000 a year. These people own me. You know what I mean? Of course I wasn't home. But she was like, fuck that. I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, yeah, that's a woman for you. You know what I mean?
Don Levon says, but when the AI busts a nut, I won't feel it. Like, men give a damn about women busting nuts. Just get yours and get back to your computer.
Right.
I will say this.
That was a very interesting scene.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you know, I watch certain things and they just stick to my head. And let me tell you, that AI was on it. Pop, he was caressing her and doing. I was like, okay, do your job, babe. Do your job.
You at all, Mr. AI, sir?
You know,
I want to say
Mr.
something.
That middle dick of yours.
I think men,
Dr. Manhattan.
I mean, I can only probably speak for myself, but I think men do care about women having orgasms because it's like an ego thing.
Yeah, I was
Because
just kidding. I'm just fucking with you.
It's one of the things that guys say, you know, did you make her come? And you're like, well, you ain't do it, I did it. And now it's like he got one up on you. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
So I think guys care about that.
They do. Not here. I don't know if you watched my show before, but
not awesome. Okay. Not awesome.
Yeah, so
Don,
I think
you can
learn
Python in 3 months. You can learn Python in 3 months, Don. Trust me, it's easy as fuck.
So the reason why I brought that up to begin with is because there is something already similar to that, and I brought it up before. I said there is an app now with a penis attached to it. I saw it on TV, a documentary about the dark web and the web and, you know, things, the way they're developing and stuff. And there was an app where a man was at his home doing his thing, and the woman had the other part of the device, and they were a long distance relationship, and there was a penis attached to her side of the toy, and the guy was, you know, controlling the penis with his app on his computer. So it was like deeper, round strokes, longer, you know, that type of thing. And he was programming it. So he didn't even have to be in the same room, which is similar to Dr. Manhattan. And she was getting off on it because he was programming it from where he was. So this is already happening.
Yeah,
you know,
it's already happening.
My delivery for mine now.
You know, it's real funny. There's a way
I
can see how that could be programmed, because you could just create like an algorithm that says that makes sure it goes at a particular speed or varies at a particular speed, and then either goes up, down, and does a number of patterns and so on and so forth or whatever. So yeah, I can see how that is possible. Oh, I also wanted to get into the testosterone steroid thing real quick before I forget. Okay, now TRT and steroid use. It's all steroids. It's all based on usage, however. Now TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy, what happens is that you take a certain amount. Your doctor prescribes that you take a certain amount of testosterone to ensure that you have a healthy amount of testosterone for your age. Usually, people who get on TRT, they have low testosterone, they have things going on, and they have to, take some shit to make sure that their shit is at a healthy point. Now, if you take that same testosterone and you go if you're in your 50s, you gonna get the testosterone level of a 20-year-old, you're on the juice. Now, under those circumstances, if you're not careful, if you don't know what you're doing, and if you take it for a long period of time, yes, your balls will shrink. Under those circumstances, those professional, bodybuilders, yeah, their shit shrunk because the motherfuckers is taking like maybe 1,000 or 2,000 milligrams a week, and they're taking that with some other shit, with like human growth hormone. They're taking all kinds of copious shit. So yeah, they done blew their fucking balls off. But for a regular guy who wants to take testosterone, who wants to, or even if you want to juice, you can take other compounds to ensure that your balls are still working and your shit doesn't shrivel up. Because what happens is that if you take such a copious amount of testosterone, your body says, "Hold up, this is a whole bunch of shit that's coming that's in our body right now. Let's just depend on that," and then your balls just go up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just says we're not going to produce anymore since all this shit is here. You know what I mean? Because and it does fuck with your estrogen levels and so on and so forth. So yes, you can lose your fucking balls, but that's all dependent on how much you take. It's like alcohol. If you only drink once a month, you're not a fucking alcoholic. You know what I mean? But if you're drinking every fucking 5 minutes and shit like that, yeah, you're gonna fuck your liver up. You know what I mean? You're an alcoholic or whatever.
All right. But for anyone that was interested in that information, because we spoke about that before, Dawood Ali, sir, send me an email with your availability for our phone call. We will discuss that on the Block with Jen at Gmail. Send me an email because I did get your messages earlier, but I can't reply on that specific app. Okay, so send me an email to on the Block with Jen at Gmail with your availability. POP, what's up, love? Yes, sounds like an upgrade from a Zoom date. It definitely is.
That'll be a little bit more.
If he can insert you, you know what I mean, from being states away with his little app, that is definitely an upgrade from a Zoom call. All right, guys, this freaking talk was absolutely freaking amazing. Thank you so much, chat, for holding me down. Thank you, Damien, for visiting us. Please come back. You dropped a lot of gems. We like the smarties up here. We need the smarts. All right. We have a lot of fun up here, but every now and then it's good to, be grown up and have some intellectual conversations. So what is that? Oh, what Don Lamont talking about? What you doing, Donnie? Okay, guys. So this was amazing, but we have to revisit because, by the time we log off, there'll be another development.
Right.
Oh, I just want to say one thing, man. It was great seeing the both of you, man. It was really great seeing the both.
This was awesome. Great reunion.
Shout it out, Lily. Shout it out.
Which one? What?
Shout it out. I'm saying shout it out. Shout it out.
You're so damn silly.
Jen, and you are very, very funny. Like, I think you should probably get into like stand-up comedy. You have a talent for comedy, I think, man.
Thank you so much. I'm actually a writer and I do write comedy, and I've been hearing I should do stand-up literally my entire life. So thank you. I take that as a compliment. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I do write comedy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Been hearing that a lot. Dude said AI could take over the churches.
Right. I saw that. I was like,
yeah. So we'll see. I guess there's the only reason I'll summarize it like this, and you guys have the last word. But I'll summarize it like this. I think there's only need to panic if you don't evolve. I mean, there's still a lot of resources that could get you up to date with these things. You just have to want to. And if you're one of those people that's rebellious, like Damien said, I don't do all that computer stuff, then you better know how to be a plumber, or an electrician or something where, a human being is still needed. Because the world is changing and it's changing very, very quickly. All right, guys, I'll pass the mic to you. Whoever has last thoughts on this subject. This was amazing. Thank you so much for your time. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much, chat. I appreciate you. Please come back for Freaky Friday tomorrow.
And I just
My
want to
last.
say,
Okay.
ladies first.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were going to talk, man. I didn't know you were talking.
Yeah. I'm going to say something just real quick. But no, I was going to say I appreciate both of you all for coming and educating us and answering all of the questions that we had and concerns and all. I think this was such an awesome show. So I can't wait to redo it again because, like Jen said, by next week it'll be a whole nother world. So, but I really appreciated this conversation.
And let Harold go. He was gonna go.
Oh, I just wanted to say, if you're on the path of improvement, keep going forward. Those who do not wish to follow you, may they be man, woman, or child, leave them to their own devices and let nature deal with them.
And in a similar tone, I think AI is a sword that could cut both ways, and those ways are determined by how we choose to interact and deal with it.
All right. So there you have it, people. All right. Thank you for coming tonight. Come back tomorrow for some fun and shits and giggles. Freaky Friday. You know how it gets up here. All right, guys. So good night. Thank you for being here. And we are out.
Peace.
Bye.
Good night, guys. Have a good night. All right, guys, if you're still here for any reason at all and you enjoyed the show, please hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget to support Mama so I could keep the church lights on. We have some church up here tonight on the Block with Jen Cash app, okay? And I keep those donations discreet unless you want me to shout you out on the show and say, hey, you're supporting the show. I'd be more than happy to do that. Thank you, POP, for coming by. So embrace technology, but know when to unplug. I love that comment. All right. Good night, Danny. I will call you as soon as I calm down. All right, guys. Good night. This was a good one. Guys. Share this. If you have a YouTube channel, just click share and it'll automatically go on your page. Share this. This was a real good one. I enjoyed this very, very much.